Hello, and welcome to yet another Q&A Thursday right here at the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel. As always, I'm your host, Dane Hennon. To my right, it's different this time. I got Anthony Fisher over there.
You're in the middle.
Thank you.
And I'm back in the middle. The guy in the middle is back here to bore you with the details about things you never know what's coming next. And to my left, I've got Levi Gates.
Hello, Dane.
Yes.
This still feels opposite. I feel like if we go back to our original positions,
it feels
we're
wrong.
Like, I'm over where Anthony is.
Yeah.
Anthony's over here. I think
I would
like it.
I would be okay like doing
this.
This
isn't too bad though, but I like this.
Yeah. So we did this because Anthony felt like a giant in the middle last time, so naturally put the big guy in the middle, right?
Well, I felt weirdly sized in the middle.
Yeah.
But now I realize that depending on what kind of shorts or pants I wear,
there's no getting around it, bro.
There's a lot that can be seen, from this. I mean, I don't know where else.
I think you want to move over here just to hide
can I
your
get
logo.
a plant or something in front of me?
Just put a potted plant right here.
I don't know what else to do. I'm not trying to draw too much attention to it.
It's not helping. Not helping.
But yeah, it is kind of exposing. But welcome to Q&A Thursday, everyone, where we answer your detailing questions, and of course, we have a pretty good time. So the first half is going to be filled with, hopefully, some on-topic conversation, and then going into the second half, we can have a little bit more fun. But who are we kidding? We like to have fun all the time.
We always have fun.
Yeah,
all the time. Now, the other important thing you should do before we get started, because I can read your mind. I already know what you're thinking. You're thinking, "Oh man, I forgot. I need to hit that like button." So go ahead and do that first. Don't worry, we'll give you a second. And thank you. Okay, moving on from that, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. And when you're done at the end of the day, leave a comment below. Helps us in the algorithm. And
we'd like
Lord knows we need all the help we can get in the algorithm, so that's just the way it works. All right, so we're answering detailing questions, car-related questions, other stuff in that vein. We have a lot of varying kinds of experience, but detailing is the focus. Believe it or not, when you watch these episodes back, it's not always clear, but we sure try. Anyway, we've got a lot of questions pouring in, but is there any housekeeping?
Yeah, I was going to say,
I'm doing a bit here. I'm doing a thing,
I thought
man.
you almost passed the turnaroff.
I have a cadence. I'm going to drift that corner. I'm going to do the move off the freeway, just around the corner. Okay. Anyway, we're at the point where we are talking about housekeeping. This is where Levi jumps in and says,
if you haven't checked yet, or maybe you're not signed up for the newsletter, there is a sale going on. Labor Day sale. 20% off almost everything. Up to 64% off of Doorbusters. That's right. Use code LABOR20 to save 20% off almost everything. But let's go through those Doorbusters, Anthony, shall we?
Yes. So right now, you head to theragcompany.com, up to 64% off at Doorbusters. We couldn't make this up even if we wanted to. We've got Pearl Puck applicators. We've got Platinum Pluffle 5-packs. Get them while you can, because once they're gone forever. The Pluffle is never coming back. I'm so sorry. Rest in peace. Suede cloth 5-pack. If you like that butter soft suede, you get more of it, and now in a bigger size.
For $5.
And you can use these for everything you want.
5-pack for $5.
The Dryer Wolf. What's that? 2 towels for $12. That's freaking incredible.
That's
right?
just a stupid
a deal so good, it'll have you howling at the moon.
Ooh, I like that.
Wow.
Here's something else.
Yeah.
Maybe you got friends that are going to be having babies soon. Maybe you're going to be having a baby soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what would be great? Having a pair of Dryer Wolves to dry off that child.
Wrap that baby up, right?
Wrap them up in some softness and some excitement.
And you could call them that. You could say that they're your little cub.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be
I'd buy a
creative
couple
with
of those at $12 just to have to give out to friends who want. I mean, you never know when you're going to need to go to a baby shower.
Right. Exactly.
Why not have a drying towel that's not only soft but highly absorbent and great for newborns?
And next up, we have a towel for people who like wearing Carhartt shirts, right?
That's right.
Who like getting their hands dirty, right? Whether you're a plumber, whether you're a detailer.
Maybe you're a guy who just likes to
construction.
change light bulbs outside.
Maybe, right? But this towel right here is called the Blue Collar. It's an everyday workforce towel that's going to get you out there. It's going to get the job done, and it's going to do so in a very utilitarian way. But it's a 70-30 blend, meaning that's going to be safe for almost anything interior and exterior. And I got to say, hands, big shout out. And to all the blue collar workers out there, because this towel is for you, and we are discounting it because we want it to be
We want to make it affordable.
Even more affordable for everybody. Now, last up here, well, actually not last, but on the towel list of things, we have the Everest 550, another towel that once it's gone, it may actually be gone, but it's a beautiful towel. It's in white. It's going to have
basically an eagle with an edge.
End of an era.
Same eagle fibers. It's going to have that butter soft suede edge. It's for people who like things pure, if you know what I mean.
As the driven snow.
Yep.
Yes.
And then we've got the Color Lock leather steering wheel restoration kit. If you have a black leather steering wheel, or maybe you're detailing some cars and you got family members, this is a great kit. Not only do you get care products, you also get cleaning products, but you also get restoration products in there, meaning you can lightly sand, you can dye, you can do all that stuff to that leather and keep it looking its absolute best.
It's almost too good of a deal. Levi, me and you may actually need to grab one of those kits.
That's a really good deal.
You know what I mean?
That's a really good deal. So we got to get some of those, and then of course, you guys, Cyclone wash mitts for $6. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Are you kidding
It's
me?
a crazy deal.
Korean 70-30 blend, or sorry,
No, it's 100%.
Korean 100% proprietary blend in the cool, awesome gray color.
You know what's inside those? Gauntlets.
Gauntlet material, right? With a
Yeah.
70-30 blend, yes.
With the 70-30 in there.
So you're really going to like this lineup. I mean, it's so good. I mean, honestly, it makes you want to take your hat off and hold it at your chest because of how good of a deal this is.
Yeah.
And you can go and find more 20% off sales or more 20% off deals on your favorite microfiber, chemicals, tools and accessories, and even apparel because the 20% off applies to just more than what you think it does.
Yeah.
Dang.
So time to stock up. Get ready to go. Get all your stuff done. You know, it's been a rough summer for a lot of us, working hard. Time to restock a couple products and get us ready for the fall.
Honestly, a
winter.
horrible summer. I hate this year, actually,
For
in
you?
general. For me in general, but you know what?
Yeah.
2025 is around the corner, and this is a 20% off deal to get you closer to 2025,
Okay.
right? To celebrate that new year.
All right.
Okay,
We'll take
very
it.
nice.
Still
Yeah.
months away.
I was
but-
going to say, it's still a
quite a
long way
way.
from seeing snow on the ground.
The other thing is, of course, guys, we are working on, we've got our new events page on the Rag Company website. So while you're there, picking up the Doorbusters, checking all that stuff out, you can click on the events page and find out some of the things that we are going to be doing over the next couple months. And some of those items are, we do have a Rupes training class happening at MVP Detail Supply here on site. And then we also have a Avery Dennison color change class happening as well. You can go on there now and sign up for both of those classes if it's something you want to do, if you're local to the Boise area, or maybe you're nearby and you want to plan a weekend, come up and do maybe the Avery Dennison training or even a Rupes training class with some of the Rupes reps. We are also working on a KCX education training day that is going to be happening sometime in October. So make sure that you are signed up and always keeping an eye on that. So always, every time, check that events calendar because we are going to be doing stuff. Also, I'll be in Germany in like 2 weeks.
You will be. Yeah, I was going to say, speaking
This time
of
in 2
Germans,
weeks, I will be there.
Can you believe it? What are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward for a currywurst.
Okay.
I'm going to have me a bit of a currywurst outside of the exhibition hall.
Yeah.
Maybe some currywurst and some pommes frites with that as well. So I'm very excited about that with some French fries.
Yeah.
And then just really going to enjoy the morning vibes of Frankfurt. Walking every morning, enjoying that little walk
Well,
to
the
the
air
hall.
is just nice over
Yeah.
in Germany. You know what I mean?
It
It's
is.
a nice, clean, crisp, air. And Dane used to take that walk as well, but Dane will not
Every
be
day.
joining you this
Mhm.
year.
He would do that
Not
walk
this
with me
year.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to be doing his own walk
It's true.
around Germany.
I'll be in
sampling
Germany
pretzels
a
and
little
beer.
later. Yeah.
Yes, well, he's going to be there for Oktoberfest. So
Yep.
I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to you guys getting out to Germany. I mean, beautiful country. You're going to see a lot of friends and things like that. So,
Thinking if I can get a set of Lederhosen, I might.
I think you absolutely
I was
need
looking
to
at
set. You
I was
absolutely
checking
need to
out
set.
Reiner's.
Levi Hosen.
I was checking out Reiner's wearing a pair that he got that he wears
okay.
every day. And
It's a normal-
that's what
it's a
that's
normal-
what Reiner wears when he's wrapping cars over in Munich at the Wrap Institute Munich.
Well,
And
I mean, just like the
I was looking at that and
southern
I go,
parts
that's
of Germany
that's
and
pretty
mostly
great.
the Bavarian area. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
normal attire.
We call that
I
the
might have to
Bavaria.
let Lars know ahead of time that I'm going to need a set, maybe send him my measurements or get that pre-planned so that I can get a
I
set.
have a pair. But you don't really share lederhosen. Like I wouldn't.
Right, yeah, I don't want to wear your
No,
leader.
I
No.
can't.
but
let
I'd
you-
like
I
to
can't-
have a
'cause we
pair.
don't. We don't wash those.
Yeah.
Well, let's be real. Some people might stretch them out a little bit, and then the next person tries wearing it. It's not.
Yeah.
It
I
doesn't
actually
fit the
hold
same.
on. I just realized that Dane is gonna have I have an opportunity to see Dane in a pair of lederhosen.
Absolutely not.
I need that.
You do need that.
Nobody needs that.
Dane, I need that
Literally
personally.
no one.
If
I
your
want your
parents,
whole family
if your mother
to
does
get
not force
decorated
you into a pair of
and dressed
lederhosen
up.
like she forced you into that sailor costume when you were a
gosh.
child,
That
I
is gonna
will
be great.
never forgive
Yeah.
them.
We need to do that. So, ladies and gentlemen,
You will
please
wear that leather.
write some emails.
No.
Address them to Jeff and Carolyn.
No.
Expressing your interest in getting Dane a pair of lederhosen for Oktoberfest.
Now I'm talking
No.
to Carolyn after this.
Yeah.
It
So
will
if you guys
happen.
could do that, send some emails. We'd appreciate it. I mean, just even to customer service or
That's just
even
like
Dane or Anthony,
committing
myself
a
or
visual
Anthony.
war crime.
That would be
No, it's
great,
not.
and we will forward those on to the appropriate
Nobody
parties.
deserves that.
So,
No, it's gonna be great. So, anyways, I think
All
we've gone
right.
on enough of a rant.
It's the
Holy.
easiest way to start.
Wow.
Let's jump into some
Yeah,
detailing
yeah.
questions.
Some comments, some questions. Let's get into it. It's going to be a lot of hellos.
That was
but we'll start
clunky this
there.
morning or this
Yeah.
afternoon here.
Well, all I know is
David
I
Boyce.
started it strong. So
David Boyce, on this episode, Dane takes a deep dive into choosing the best ergonomically podcasting chairs, like the Herman Miller or steel case office chairs. Office chairs would be nice. I'd like those. Man, that's a wide angle
that
lens. There
would
is a
just
narrow lens.
bring us back to where we started, sitting at a
Yeah.
desk in computer chairs, which was like
That was great. I enjoyed that.
It was functional, but it's so just basic and boring and not interesting visually. So anyway, Dan Pfeiffer, good afternoon and word up from Minnesota, USA. Happy Friday Eve, TRC gang. Looking forward to today's Q&A.
No, I will say I do like these chairs, Dane.
Thank you.
I'm still getting used to.
Yeah.
swear,
I don't
if
like the
I have
camera.
to change
I don't
them
like
again,
the angles of my body on
I
it. But
can't
other than that, it
help
looks
that
great.
part.
Dan Pfeiffer with a thanks again for the Labor Day sale, just in time for me to stock up on some needed towels and chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you buying. And then Brian, hey guys, this is the Eagle at 500. Oh, is the Eagle at 500 any safer than the 350, or is it just up to personal preference? It's personal preference. The 350 is just a lighter variation of the 500.
It's merely density. That's
Yep.
the only difference.
The 350 refers to the grams per square meter, meaning that, like Dane said, the density, we also call it the weight of the towel. So the 500 would be a heavier, denser, or heavyweight towel. That's all. So, man, I'm pink. All right, Brian, used a basic hardware store APC and tire brush, and the tires were still very brown afterwards. Do you think the issue was the brush or the APC? The APC.
Yeah.
The tire brush scrubbed it really well, probably, and did great. But the browning just wasn't being able to be released out of the tire because the APC wasn't strong enough.
Okay.
Probably. Next up, we've got Spencer B. Says,
Hey.
hello to all my favorite towel connoisseurs.
Hey, hey.
Hope everyone is having a great day. We are now,
You're
now
having
that
a
you're
great
here.
day.
Well,
Yeah.
and Spencer is the one that gave us those great gifts
Dude,
today.
sure
We
did.
got your package in the mail today, Spencer. Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Freaking
thank you,
super
thank you,
cool.
thank you, thank you.
Super cool.
Holy crap, dude. Thank you.
Yeah.
You killed it. That was awesome.
Like, I've never been so excited about holographic cards since I was
Since
Yeah,
your,
since
since
the
your
days of
Pokemon
Pokemon
days.
cards.
Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh or
Yeah.
whatever it was. So
Yeah.
no, thank you. So Spencer sent out some Delta collectible cards.
Yeah.
Right.
You know
from
what I'm
Delta
excited
Airlines.
about? I put them in my passport.
Oh.
Nice.
Open up my passport,
So
threw
then-
them in
so
there,
then
so
you
it's going to
get
be
there.
loaded.
No, it's gonna get you. I think it's gonna
gonna
open
make
more
it
doors.
look-
It's gonna open more doors
I
for
think
you.
so.
I think
you
so,
know, because
yeah.
Delta took away my status.
Yeah, they
Right.
were wrong for doing that.
Yeah.
All I know is
So-
if it's opening doors, I hope it's not on a Boeing mid-flight.
They,
Ayo.
they changed.
Okay.
They
Dane.
changed the statuses. So I'm in the million miler headed that way.
Yeah.
I'm at 100,000 miles, so I'm 10% of the way in
You're very far away. Yeah, but it's
to million miler status.
Yeah,
But
for 7 years.
but I'm feeling
By-
pretty good.
Yeah, and hopefully by the time you're 80, right,
Yeah.
you'll be almost there.
Almost there. But by golly, so thank you, Spencer, for writing that. He wrote a little
Thank you very
article like
much.
what you get for Million Mile. You get a cake sometimes, or a ride in one of the Delta Porsches.
Because remember, I saw that one guy get like a bag of goodies, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what's in there? Is it like AirPods and stuff? Like,
Yeah.
what is he getting?
He says
I
it's
don't
up
know.
to whatever. It depends on what they have
That's
available.
very interesting.
So pretty
yeah,
cool. So I'm excited. So I'm going to be flying Delta
Okay.
all the way to Frankfurt and all the
Mm-hmm.
way home. And I'm going to be asking the pilots for cars to add to my collection.
Levi,
And I'm going to see what I have
I'm
by the
excited
time I
for
get
you.
back. I'm going to take like 7 planes.
The thing about Delta is that we know that the food's always good, right? On those long haul
service
flights.
is great.
They look
Pilots
after
are the
you.
best.
Yeah.
Pilots are the best, right? I always feel comfortable. I always feel cared for.
Mm-hmm.
The bathrooms, most of the time, 8 out of 10, pretty acceptable.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
Very
Not
excited
bad.
about it.
Boom. Accommodations. Now, this next one, I'll definitely want to make a point about, but go ahead and read this one, Anthony.
I've noticed you mentioned you got a water drain put in the studio during the renovation. How did you guys go about doing it? Super hard to do. I'd like to build a garage one day and do a drain. So we cut into the concrete and we actually removed the whole area of that slab and re-poured a new slab, but we had a 1 degree angle on the slab, which basically caused it to drain a grade downward. And then we poured essentially, or
almost like a basin, a catch basin.
Yeah, like a catch basin.
And that's what I really wanted
like
to
a
clarify
trough.
on this.
Yeah,
I did not want people thinking we made an actual drain that goes into a different thing.
It doesn't go
this
anywhere.
Functionally works just exactly the same way it did before, where we sump pump out the water, whatever liquids down there. It's just now it's essentially a catch basin. So it does what the I guess the mat did before. It's just now it's all under the surface of the flooring we got in there.
Yeah.
So visually, you don't end up, with that swamp. You're trudging around in.
Yeah, and we did add some custom stuff where we added some PVC pipes so we could put a sump pump in there and we could run the cables back out so it looks seamless.
It's integrated nicely.
But there was a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we had to do. But it is technically not a drain because it doesn't drain anywhere. It just holds water, but it allows us, and we put some steel grating over the top of it, put the flooring over the top, so it looks super seamless.
Yeah, and the reason I wanted to point out the very specific nature of that is I didn't want people thinking, oh, you installed a drain, and then suddenly it becomes an issue because we're not supposed to do anything beyond what we did. What we did is okay, but you can't actually put a drain there, so you have to do this kind of workaround solution.
Yep.
All right, next up, we've got
here,
Umberto.
We've got Umberto saying, hello, TRC team. And following that, we've got Alex chiming in, Grand Ambassador of the Year. Will catch this bad boy recently. Hope everyone is doing well. Love you all. Thank you, Alex.
Right back at
we'll
you,
miss
Alex.
you, man.
Yeah, fun, man.
Next up, we've got David Cervantes says, what's up, guys? Long time no see.
Hey, David.
Hey, Hag.
And following that, we've got the Devil's in the Details says, I can't stay either. Oh, Frank,
Come
what's
on,
going
guys.
on, man? Headed to work. You gotta make some money.
Love peace
and taco grease.
Okay, that's a new one.
Ooh, I think I might make tacos tonight. That sounds good.
All right.
Bruce's Garage saying, good afternoon, Bruce.
Good
What's
afternoon,
going
Bruce.
on, man?
Hey, everybody.
Serato 2K, my Thursday afternoon.
I'm
R&R.
saying welcome to all the folks as we move on.
And we're saying
here.
hello.
Can I get a new page, please? All right. Then we move along. More hellos. Here we
Hey,
go.
what up? Carlos Miranda.
Yeah.
David Boyce. Levi, let's get old school. What's your favorite paste wax?
Oh, we are going old school.
Malo Wax by Woos. I wore my Woos shirt yesterday.
Did
Nice.
you really?
My t-shirt.
You
Kicking
did?
it.
I didn't
Yeah.
know
Old
that.
school.
Makes me feel good.
Yeah.
You know?
Is it? Yeah.
It just makes me happy of a simpler time.
Pasting
You know.
makes you
So I still
feel
have.
good.
So I got a
But
can of
Malo Wax.
You got a can
still
of
my
that. I still have a
favorite.
can of the 121.
I
got
still have a can of
the
121.
Classic as well. I mean, but that's still old school. I guess if we're talking favorite. I mean, that is a current. Is it still currently available?
Yeah, you can still buy it.
You can still
I
buy
think so.
the waxes
on Woos.com, I think.
The concept of paste
Yeah.
wax is old school. He doesn't care if it's an old or a new paste wax.
Oh,
though.
gotcha.
So he's just talking
So,
about the concept.
I like the WoW stuff. If you're looking for one that's current, one that we currently sell, it is the KCX
Yeah,
wax.
the KCX wax is like honey
It's
buttered
like honey,
toast.
dude. It's like it's
is
so
what we call it. It's really good.
it's really nice. That's a really good
Soft.
therapy wax.
You don't have to
And
stress your body out
I
when
don't
you're trying to
feel
move
like
it.
there's I don't think there's no abrasives in that wax,
No,
right?
it's a
There's
show
no-
wax,
there's
final
no-
show
How's
wax.
the scent
There's
on
like
that
no
one?
abrasives, and
Honey
I
butter,
I
Dane.
think there's
Yeah.
probably very little solvent.
Yeah, it stays wet for a very long
It
time.
stays wet for a super long time, and it just kind of almost feels like you're putting on like a lip balm. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
really nice. So that one's a good one. But old school, other than that, God, I don't know. I got, like
Fantastic
Fantastic,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
from Stiarna Gloss.
But
is
like
another good one.
I used so much cleaner wax from McGuire's
Yeah.
back when I was younger.
I've been
I
using
hated that
so
stuff.
I have a bunch of the Swiss Faxes at my house,
Oh yeah, and you do. Yeah.
and I
like
use those
those.
every once in a while. just one I like to throw it up. I like the smell. The one that has impressed me the most is their wood wax.
Mm-hmm.
That one's super cool because it's a wax for wooden steering wheels. And it is, and real wood. So when you put it on, and you notice it, when you put it on a real wood steering wheel, it is nice.
Interesting.
It's really nice.
Like an old Nardi steering wheel or something,
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, then I've got It's Actually Kevin saying, hey, yous guys. Happy Friday, Junior, from the sunny south coast of Massachusetts.
How you doing, Frank?
What's going on?
It's Actually Kevin, he says. All right. Then I got Super Auto 2K. Levi.
OG Matt peeking over the back of the upper cabinets is
That's
priceless.
hilarious.
Yeah, he doesn't want us messing up his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice little touch. I like that people are noticing it. David here, I like that he announces when he has questions coming up. So definitely. Dan Pfeiffer, also a big proponent of the Three Amigos view. He likes the wide shot, even though it is a little compressed. They had to do that to fit us all in there. It's just the way it is. Then Dan also follows up. Thank you for removing that picture from the shot. They always put it back. I moved it because I have drinks here, and I did not want to knock anything over.
Sure, it'll be back.
He's got a lot of drinks.
As soon as I move those, though, I'm sure when this day is over, someone will come in.
He's just underneath.
And
it's on the lower
there.
lower level.
Oh, yeah, it's there.
He's hiding
Right
in the
there.
shadows.
Oh,
Down
yeah,
there.
Dan, we couldn't
Always
escape.
watching.
Although I like how much it bothers people, so that's fun.
Iyer says, "Oh, would you look? There's the lads. Thank you, Iyer. Glad
Hey.
to see you in the chat here." Bruce says, "What's the highest gloss ceramic coating you've seen?"
That's always tough because there's different kinds of
The
glossy
pro
looks.
level Diamond Protect stuff is really nice.
Yeah.
Legend on red is still
it looks
really amazing.
And Inspiration too looks amazing on red.
Yeah.
Highest gloss, man. I mean, it's tough to say because, like, I've done
Depends
enough,
on the
I've
car.
done enough CSL and XO.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
combos
the
that,
G-Tech combo of CSL.
I feel like that's
and
always
XO.
pretty money in terms of gloss factor. It's always good. Like, you know,
It is.
there's never going wrong with that. Man, what's blown my mind? That's the thing. I think CSL and XO, I still almost think that looks better than the CSU.
Yeah.
Interesting.
On its own. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm trying to think of, like, who really gives that most candied look, regardless of durability and everything else.
The first time you installed Inspiration on your red Civic,
Yeah.
that
was nice.
pretty.
That looked pretty dang good.
amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty candied. Yeah. I don't know if it was just the red helping.
Yeah, no, it brought out what was otherwise a pretty normal kind of glossy red, and it made it just pop more. Like
Yeah,
big time.
when I put Pro 120, Diamond Protect Pro 120 on my wife's red Camry,
that's a good red too.
That one
Yeah.
just it was a good color. So
We
that's
should
probably
just-
where I'm gonna say. I mean, all of our coatings that we sell have a great gloss.
It's why we carry them.
Yeah, we did get to see one that really just shook us. That we put on Anthony's Forerunner just recently, and so I will say that one.
I don't think we're supposed to even say that much,
I'm
Levi.
just gonna say that I think
Okay,
that is
we have to leave
probably
that. We have to leave that there.
yeah. I think that one I'm impressed
There's
with.
too many. Yeah, there's too.
I was gonna say we recorded a podcast
Crap, it's a
talking about
trap.
that. That's
This
for
is a
later,
trap,
and
Bruce.
we can't talk
This is
about
a trap,
that
Bruce.
yet.
Move on. Next.
So that's
Hey,
later.
get us
Look
outta
what he
here.
did to.
Yeah.
I love this. It's actually Kevin. Let's derail this
Yeah.
train. Thank you. Ay.
Back in the
Super Auto
middle
says
again.
back in the middle again. Wait, let's
No, that would be stuck in the middle with you, Super Auto.
Yeah.
Which TRC towel is the closest to the Gion Q2M towel? That's my first good towel I've had, but I wanted to switch over all my towels to TRC. Going to order the Liquidator soon and like the small gauntlets. Gion Q2M.
Q2M.
Pull out my phone here.
Trying to recall off the top of my head. Yeah, if that's a low pile towel.
We look it up here and see.
Admittedly, it's not ringing a bell off the top of my head
Q2M.
which one that is. Because I know they're towels, but I don't recall which one the Q2M is. So we'll have him look that up. But David, you're located in the Netherlands, correct? I'm trying to recall where you're at to see if maybe Patrick is the right way to go. And you could take a look at some stuff, which would be helpful. That would be the ragcompany.shop.
Well, that's not right. Q2M.
You guys are
Yeah.
both wearing. I missed the freaking Brooks.
Yeah,
we got
you
that
did.
again.
Brooks memo
buddy.
again today.
That's the way it works.
I'm rocking the Brooks
Oh,
Auroras.
it's the Q2M is the silk dryer.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Silk dryer. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting question. Moving
Yeah.
on.
Huh.
I think the liquidator you will like.
Stay in touch with us. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll,
Jeff
In
says,
due
I
time.
miss the old chairs with the underglow. We can go get
I'm
the
gonna
underglow.
go insane.
Dane just needs to go take the underglow off the chairs and bring it over. That's all we have.
No.
It's sitting
The
over there.
problem is he doesn't just want the underglow. He wants the old chairs too. So basically, nobody can agree on which chairs
Yeah,
they
Jeff,
like,
you come sit in them
except
for 2
for
hours.
the old chairs. Jeff, I really like those old chairs, but I will say I find these ones even more comfortable. So I'm sticking with these. They'll have to pry it
No.
from my cold.
But we can
dead
add
hands.
underglow. That's totally fine.
I mean, we could do that. Mm-hmm. It's true. We could get those back.
Bill Pearson with the howdy fellas from the deep south.
Hey.
What's up, Bill? Hope you're getting ready for that for the what do they call that, the harvest down there. There's a lot of crawfishing and
Oh yeah.
that
famous
what
Southern
else goes on
California
down there
crawfish
in Southern
fan
California when you're on the fan boat.
Got to look out for gators.
yeah, the gators.
Yeah,
that'll
but it's
get you.
almost
Stuff like
harvest season
Yeah.
over there, so that's what I'm wondering what kind of
down there
things
in the bayou.
like
yeah.
getting them boils going.
That
Southern
famous
boil,
Southern
Southern boil.
California
I
bayou.
mean, it's and then the lightning bugs. Right now, we're currently still I think in lightning bug.
That's nice because the temperature's starting to
season.
cool off. If it gets too cold, they're going to go away.
Yeah, they are.
How
yeah.
about June bugs, though? You know,
Just got done with the June bugs and the cicadas.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cicadas, yeah.
What a classic sound
Do
that
you guys
is.
know that today we had gumbo for lunch?
They seriously did.
I kid you not. Like literally, we found a guy locally.
Made them gumbo.
We literally found a guy locally who had, I guess he was trying to open a Cajun restaurant or has one or has a food truck at least. And we reached out to see where he was going to be located because we were wanting to try it. And we sent him a message on Facebook, and he's like, "Yo, I'll just like make a bowl, make a
Batch
pot,
of it. Yeah.
and I'll
Okay.
just bring it to you at work." And we were like, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah." So
kind of
it's this
awesome.
much a bowl, and so we're like, "Sweet." So we all pitched in, and the guy totally delivered us some gumbo today.
pretty
So
rad.
we had chicken sausage gumbo. It's good. Yeah.
All right, Toyota Dude. Good afternoon, everyone. Gabe,
up,
is
man?
that you back there? I'm trying to figure out.
I are saying TRC, the Skoda is a tad swirly. I tried KC Microcut. It's just not cutting the mustard. Any advice, very much welcome. So,
You got options.
couple different things you could do. Are you could skip Microcut altogether and go straight to just Uno Advanced. Get a small 250 ml bottle of Uno Advanced and a couple just blue wool pads, and I think you probably get everything handled very quickly. If not, what pad are you using with the Microcut? Because if you switch over to like a Rupes blue wool, that Microcut should be able to get a lot of that out of there for you, and then go back over with a fine or a micro cut, a KCX Microcut pad as your second step. So
Okay.
Microcut will get a lot out. Surprising how versatile that polish is. It might just be the pad. So what pad are you using, Ira?
All right. Then I've got Hippopotamus Stew saying, "Take a hike, Pluffle." Wow,
Oh.
aggressive, Hippo. Aggressive. All right, David's got to follow up.
What products are there to fight mold besides the PNS3 system with Terminator for heavy mold? I saw so much stuff on detail pages that it struck my curiosity. So to fight mold, you have to clean all the mold off. Then you need to make sure that you dry it all out and use a couple different variations. You can get some UV. You can run the heat in the vehicle, get the furnace turned on inside the car there, and warm the car up. Crack the windows and let it bake, as we call it, for a couple hours and let it run. Because you got to get the temperature up hot enough that it kills the rest of that mold. But utilizing Terminator is going to be great because it's a natural enzyme and it will start breaking down any of those. It won't handle a lot of mold, but it'll break down enzymes that are still around inside that. And then Finisher is great because Finisher is peroxide and has a good amount in there, and it will neutralize a lot of spaces in that area to keep it clean and disinfected. And so the number one thing, though, to fight mold is to just get the car dry. Dry. So that whether that's putting a fan inside the vehicle and running the fan, whether that's putting an ozone machine in there afterwards and drying it out even more. There's a lot of different ways, but the best way, just pull it out into the sun on a sunny day, pull all the mats out, pull everything out, open the doors, drop the windows, and let the car butterfly just sit and dry out. That's the biggest thing you can do. The reason mold is caused is because people roll their windows up and they leave water under the mats. That's it.
Sucks. Don't do it.
Yeah. Like I threw the mats back in Anthony's car after Gabe soaked the snot out of them, and I had to dry them off with a towel.
Yep.
And then I had to make sure they were dry before I put his rubber mats back in, because if we would have just tossed them back in, you would have had water underneath that mat.
True.
And then your wife won't crack the windows. No. She's like my wife. They're not going to crack the window. So Anthony's next chance to get in that vehicle may be in 2 weeks or something.
Longer.
And he'll be like, yeah, and he might be like, oh, this is wet and moldy in here. What the heck happened? And he'll lift up the mat and see that it's wet. So cracking windows is the biggest thing. The other thing is kids. Kids will spill water. Kids will have a water bottle in the back. They won't put the lid on all the way. The water will spill. It'll get under a mat. People leave their windows up. They don't even think about it. Mm-hmm. So the number one cause of that is just wetness. So the key to that is if you smell it or you feel mold or anything in the area of the vehicle or just a dampness, it's most likely just under the floor mats. Pull the mats, dry out the carpet, vacuum, suck out as much of the water as you can, and then proceed to start running heat and getting air on the surface and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah. Next up, I've got Kevin Miser here, Anthony.
Says, shout out to Dane. I have taken over my company's podcast production, and it's a lot more work than I expected. Kevin, it is a lot.
Well, thank you, Kevin. And I got to say, huge credit goes to, obviously, our folks behind the scenes. Nick and Glenn have done a whole lot to enhance the production on the back end. I mean, in the early days,
we couldn't do it without them.
I started it with a field recorder and then built it into some mics. And eventually it got to a point where we started enlisting help to the other side of a wall so that we could have some more production. But yes, it is a very challenging process because things don't always go according to plan. No matter how much you try, it's just never a guarantee.
Yep.
All right. Next up, it's actually Kevin.
I used my $20 survey gift code to buy a couple 5-packs of Platinum Plus.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you, Kevin.
Nice.
Appreciate
Thank
that.
you for
dude.
taking the survey.
Yes, thank you very much.
For folks that didn't know, we sent out a survey to past customers, and we offered them a $20 gift card if they took the survey.
Yeah. It's legit. It's not some weird
Stoked
spammy
you guys
thing.
are using it. That is great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Please, if any of the rest of you actually used them, tell us and how you used them.
Check your
We'd love
emails
knowing.
and see if you got it.
Yeah.
Or not.
Thank you. Getty Costello saying hello.
What's up, Getty?
Then we got David here.
Are those sales coming to TRC Europe and the Netherlands too? No. So we do let Europe and the UK know when we're having sales. They tend to follow along on our same process. So, but more so big holidays that are kind of worldwide, like Black Friday,
holidays,
Christmas, things like that. Because Netherlands, Europe has their own holidays and sales that they'll do. So
they'll do King's Day.
They'll do King's Day sale in April, and they'll do a lot of stuff like that. So
that we don't.
Exactly.
Just kind of mixes it up.
But we try to keep, I would keep an eye on what Rag Company Europe's doing, especially if you're in the Netherlands, because of the fact that they do a lot of unique branding.
Yep.
Where they have shirts and stickers that we don't have or are doing.
Special stuff that you can't get here, so you got to go there.
And as a matter of fact, I'm having 2 shirts made for the guys over at Rag Company Europe because we're going to hang out with them at Auto Mechanica for a week. So we wanted to match. So.
Oh, look at this old face, Harry Housewife.
Hey, Darren.
Some great products there.
What's going
Darren,
on?
nice to see you. There we go. Man, just being real kind here, Air First. All God's best people are here in the chat. Thank you.
I have a friend that had that tattooed on his knuckles.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it said God's best.
God's best. There we go.
For himself.
Shout out to Great Deals. Yes, there's nothing quite like a great deal.
Oh, honey.
And a great deal of you are here in the chat leaving new comments and questions, so thank you for that. Keep it going.
Brian says, my official TRC reseller had some old twist and shouts left, so I scooped one up. Nice. It's a good way to get them.
Good score, Brian. Tamara says, big hug and love to Lucas, for his awesome help with my order. Nice,
Oh,
Tara.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll let Lucas know.
Lucas
is
deserves
great.
the love. He does a really good job.
Levi, why didn't you include clips of Anthony's PPF delete vid in your latest PPF? Could damage your paint vid. So I didn't make that video.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know
that's
this, but Levi
AI
doesn't
Levi.
edit videos.
Yeah, that was
So-
AI Levi that did. No. I was the talent for that video. I didn't actually edit that video, so we could let Seabass know. He's the one that edited it. That hey, you should have done this. He would have been like, dang it, I totally forgot. So, but yeah, no, you're right. That would have been a funny one to watch you guys struggling with the
Oh
PPF.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
for sure. But you know what? Those videos do exist, so if people are curious about it, you can always go back and check
Yeah.
out our wonderful experience on my van, among other things too. Holy cow, that was a rough one. Getty here saying, "Hi guys, my question is if I use rags to riches as a pad cleaner in between polishing panels, what ratio do you suggest in a 1 gallon bucket?"
Oh, like not even a half an ounce, a quarter of an ounce.
Yeah,
You don't need that
You
much.
don't need much.
Pretty light. And yeah, I mean you can stretch it. So
Yeah. G. Davis with Dane in the middle. The new set
Oh,
reminds me of the green room at the AVN
you
Awards.
can't say that.
I think you can. It's okay.
Yeah. They're
Oh,
very
dear.
nice awards. Very nice awards show.
Yep. Getty here, Anthony.
If I get more customers, I'd like to buy the Lake Country System 4000 pad washer, but it's very expensive. Thanks.
Yeah.
Getty, it's an awesome
It's
tool,
worth it.
dude. It's totally worth it. Like once you go with a pad washer, it's kind of hard to go back to just blowing out pads.
Nice. Oh no, Joey here. T1 Grambo checking in. That's a Grandambassador. Anyone seen the others? Winky face.
Yeah.
Let's see who else we got in the chat,
Oh,
right?
Yeah, all right.
How many W's we got in the chat?
Report
right?
in, yeah. Only W's in the chat, please.
Tahoe Joe into hizzy.
Then, oh, look at this Grant Hawtree. Haven't
Hey,
seen that guy in
Grant.
a minute.
The new
Damn.
set looks like a proctologist reception area full of 8-month-old classic car mags.
Is that such a bad thing?
Yeah.
Sounds.
I wanted to make a
different.
place that people felt comfortable.
Yeah.
Just
I think
kind
we're
of
gonna
a
need to add
chill
the
vibe.
underglow in here, Dane.
We need the underglow back. Okay, I'll bring it back. And also, you're right about the car mags. I need to get some car art on these walls because I like having the plants. I like having the wood paneling, but without car stuff, it just feels like it's missing something, you know? So we'll work on that. I promise we'll work on that. All right. Dino here. Hello, my
Hey, Dino.
awesome people.
No worry,
Dino,
man.
welcome to the show. Happy to have you here. And Hippolito Campos. Anthony.
Says, hi everyone, my native language is Spanish, but I also speak and write English. Excuse me if I write any words in English incorrectly. Could you explain the difference between alkaline and acid?
That's very good, Hippolito.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's pretty...
yeah,
you did
very
good.
well written, man.
Yeah.
So here's the best way to describe it. So we're going to just take plain water, the water you drink, right? That's it. We're going to start there. That water that you're drinking is a neutral pH, which means it's in the middle. So we're going to use neutral for middle, okay? So that middle is going to be a number called 7. Now,
Called
that
se- I mean,
we're going to call that number 7,
Okay.
right? Acids start in the 1, 2, 3 lineup of those numbers. And then alkalins start in the 10, 11, 12. Now,
It was
those are
14,
your
I mean.
those are your end caps. Now, both of those can creep towards the neutral scale or they can go past it. There are alkalins that go 13, 14, things like that. There are acids that are 0.75, 0.5, 0.25, all that stuff all the way down to 0. So, acids are going to clean very well, but at a very low pH. Alkalins are going to clean very well, but at a very high alkaline. And they both clean very similarly. The difference is how they react. So, if you get acid on your skin, that acid is going to not only burn the skin, it'll lightly burn it, but it will actually penetrate and burn your bones inside.
Not good.
Where alkaline will hit your skin and burn and do a ton of damage to the outside of your skin, but not really penetrate any more into your bones. So it's the way that they clean is differences, and each one has a tendency to actually dissolve certain things. Alkaline can dissolve metals, acid can dissolve metals, where alkalines take a little longer to dissolve metals in that same form. So there are different ways in which they can work. So acids are great at cleaning chrome, water spots, minerals, things like that. Alkalines are really good at removing solvents,
Rubber, vinyl kind of stuff.
grease,
can clean well.
oil, dirt, things like that. So it's more able to break down those types of things. So that's the easiest basics way. Acids usually start at a 1, 2, 3. Alkalines usually start above number 10. So 10, 11, 12. It's the easiest way to remember it. And then milk, leche, is 7. Also, it's a pH neutral. It's very safe, right in the middle. So hopefully that makes sense.
No, I think you did a really good job explaining that. Now, just one more question regarding that. You didn't ask, but
you have one?
Yes, I do actually. So, not to fully confuse people more or anything, but oftentimes in chemistry class, for example, at school, we were always taught acids and bases. Now, base, could that be used interchangeably with alkaline, or is that a different way of explaining things?
Dane, I failed chemistry.
Okay, so I'm sure somebody in the chat could help me out with that, but I just want to make sure it's a fair assessment. Anyway.
Wait, what did you ask? I wasn't even paying attention.
So remember...
He's looking for the term for bases.
Yeah, in chemistry. So basically, can you use the word base in lieu of alkaline?
Maybe,
or do you
Dane.
have to say alkaline? Because I was always taught
I think
acids
so,
and
probably.
bases.
Yeah,
that was how it
I
was
think so. I think
differentiated.
I think you
And
could.
in my knowledge, when it's detailing, they always talk alkaline, but... the acid remains constant. So I'm like, okay, you just changed base to alkaline, but you're still talking about the same thing.
To neutralize an
That's
acid,
what I'm trying to clear up.
To neutralize an acid on the surface, you have to use an alkaline to fully neutralize it.
No, I get that. It's basically
And to neutralize an
correcting it to
alkaline,
neutral.
technically, you kind of got to use an acid.
Sure, yeah. I'm mostly just interested in the terminology and base
Well, there
being
you
the
go.
word used instead of alkaline if they do refer to the same thing, or if it's something that's like, oh, that's just a range kind of closer to the middle,
good question.
whatever it is. Anyway, somebody help with that, please. Then we've got G. Davis here.
Suggestions on removing the scent of spilled used gear oil from the interior of a 2004 Toyota Sequoia.
I'm sure
Gear oil's the
Nick...
worst, man.
gee.
Yeah.
So
Gear oil sucks.
you're gonna have to soak the snot out of that carpet. I would get some car wash soap. Honestly, if you don't have an extractor, here's what I would do. I'd go buy a cheap. They make a bucket head from Home Depot that you can put on a 5-gallon bucket. It's a vacuum, and it's like $30, and you snap it onto the top of a 5-gallon bucket. It's got a tiny hose on it, but what I would do is I would take another 5-gallon bucket with water, put some soap in it, put a degreaser, everything else that you need to do in there. I would degrease the as much of that gear oil that I could get out of there. Right, I get as much of that gear oil out, and then I degrease a bunch of that, and then I would basically get that spot wet with some soap and water, scrub the snot out of it, and then I would just extract as much of that out as I could. The key is to try to remove as much as you physically can out of the surface, and then I'd go back in with some finisher, with some Terminator, just trying to break up as much of the chain that makes the scent and try and kill that as much as I could. But it may take multiple tries, or just get new carpet.
All right.
At the end of the day, the carpet kit's $300, and it's maybe going to take 4 or 5 hours to pull everything and throw the new carpet in and pull the old one out. I mean,
Yeah, I probably would go to junkyard. That's what I'd probably do. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah.
The Slizzard Lizard
Love that.
says restaurant.
Unter Schweigenstieg.
Yep,
Yeah.
is right next to Frankfurt Airport. If you have time, stop there and get the buffet. I do miss the currywurst.
Oh, that'd be pretty nice. As soon as we're landing, we're headed straight to the hall. So, I don't know
Any
if I have time to
relation, your username, to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, the band? Just curious here. Josh McKay saying, hello, everyone.
Hello,
What's
Josh.
going on?
It's actually Kevin saying, "Have you placed your order with Obsessed Garage to enter the win or to win a garage makeover?" So we were talking about that, and you were just
Definitely
telling Jimmy
should.
about how great that would be. My first question would be, does the Swiss Tracks come in green?
Does the carpet match? The
I want a
drapes?
forest green Swiss Tracks.
Maybe, probably. I don't know what colors they come
How
in.
luscious would that look in my?
I think it would
garage?
look. I would think if you went earth tone, brown and green, right? So like, you know what I mean? Like you did like you could, like, green with little borders of brown or something
or
like that.
bronze.
Yeah,
What about a bronze flooring?
I could see
You got
that,
bronze
right?
flooring with rich wood walls.
Ooh, I like that.
How
name.
come they haven't done
Possibly
marble,
exposed red
marble
brick
Swiss
somewhere.
tracks?
Oh.
So it's like, you know what I mean? Like
That's
they,
basically what we
yeah.
had was marbleized.
like think
Swiss
of like
tracks.
Dane's shirt, but like it's
Yeah.
just that's on that pattern's now on Swiss Tracks material.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be an interesting
I
way
like
to
that.
do that. Would you keep the ventilation in them or no?
Yeah, of course.
In order to get that pattern, I wonder how
Yeah.
hard that is with all the
I
vents.
don't know. I don't know.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Next up, I got G. Davis. Dane has bronze member status in the Spirit Airlines Model Club. Oh, lordy.
bronze member.
Yeah, he didn't quite get to the silver or the gold.
Yeah, they say go for the gold, but sometimes it's better if you shoot for the middle, you'll never miss.
Yeah.
Don B saying, "Hey Levi, thanks for the advice via email on the Brooks running shoes." You're welcome, Don. I picked up a pair of Ghost 16s in black, and they are great. My first pair of Brooks, and I'm hooked. Thanks and cheers, brother. Welcome, man.
Good
Don,
choice.
well,
Yeah,
welcome to
they
the club.
are. Brooks, and it's one of those things like premium level shoes,
Love them.
right? Brooks, Hoka, brands like that, where it's just top tier.
Yeah.
They're designed for your feet and designed for your back.
You got to treat your
Yeah.
feet.
That's the
Wow.
beauty of them, right?
Yep, it is. It
And
is.
it's nice when people start seeing the difference,
Mhm.
because you get into the other shoes, they're not that great. You get into Nikes, Sauconys,
Well, like,
Reeboks.
Chucks look cool, but they
Like-
start to hurt after a while. Your feet
Well,
are just
they make
like,
they
I'm
make
done with
orthopedic
this.
footbeds that you can buy. Have a pair of those.
Well, that's kind of a
But I
derailing
will
my
say,
point,
when I first got
so,
my first
bummer.
pair of Ghosts, it changed my life.
You,
And then
you
I
love those
I
original
preached the
Ghosts.
gospel for a number of years to these guys, and once they finally drank the Kool-Aid, they were like, "Holy cow!"
Now I've got like
Anthony's
8 pairs.
and Anthony's got like 8 pairs too. So
Yeah,
Bottom up like Dixon's almost.
Yeah.
All right, back to Darren here. Alkaline products are great for breaking down organic materials and dirt. Acidic products are great for breaking down mineral deposits.
there you go.
Darren,
Yes.
that's
Yep. Thanks, Darren.
Then Neil White.
Hey, TRC, any of you coated a minivan before? If so, did you use a 30 or 50 mil bottle of coating? Yes, many of them, and it's a 30 mil bottle.
And then I got Franco, a.k.a. Devils in the Detail. Joey Belinsky, the American hairy housewife. Look at that. Well, he is a reacher-sized gentleman. He's a very large guy.
Slizzard Lizard says, planning to cut and polish for the first time in the near future. What's one tip from each of you for the beginner?
What are you cutting and polishing first off?
Yeah,
What are you working on?
I'm assuming it's just a normal clear coat on a regular modern-ish vehicle.
I mean, if you're
But
cutting and polishing for anything the first time, I'm assuming you're using a machine.
let's just pretend
One
he's working
thing-
on your Civic.
I'd just say just be cognizant of your backing plate. Maybe make some markings on the backing plate so you know when the pad's spinning, and then make sure you have consistent pad angle, right? And just know that,
Yeah, you want to keep it flat,
keep it flat,
keep it spinning,
and keep it spinning. And if you may have to adjust your speed as necessary,
and pressure.
depending on speed and pressure depending on your angle. But yeah, keep the right side of the pad on the paint. That's the
No,
That's really all it is.
very, very
Yeah.
important beginner advice.
keep the foam side down, right? And you're good.
And then my piece of advice would be let the polisher do the work. Don't apply too much pressure. Really try and let the machine do most of the work.
Yeah.
All right. Then we've got FYI, CSL is the coating, says Neil White.
Okay, thanks, Neil.
All right. Then Josh McKay.
Do you always use distilled water to dilute chemicals? No.
It's tap water.
I mean, if I have distilled, then yeah, sure, I'll throw it. I'll use it. But if I don't, then I just use tap water.
Yeah.
The difference.
It depends on the
really-
water too. It depends on the water that you're using and what your water is at your house.
Yeah.
Sometimes people have water softeners that are tied in, and so they're filling up their bottles in their house in their sink, or if they've got a utility sink that's tied into the house water, they're filling it up and they've got maybe soft water, and so sometimes your water may be acting weird, and so some people do use just distilled because it's just clean water. The other opposite end is, I could be pulling from my irrigation water, and that's high mineral content, and it actually doesn't the same thing. My chemicals don't like that. So my water in my house is an 80 ppm, and I don't have a softener added, so I don't really worry about it, as it works just fine.
Something
but yeah, like Anthony, if I have extra distilled left around, I'll mix up some bottles just for fun.
But something like O&R or something does have a little bit of softening capability. So maybe if it's not too bad, you could benefit from that. If you're using
not
a
putting
rinseless
O&R
wash.
in your... Don't mix your chemicals with O&R.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
Oh.
if you're mixing, he's saying chemicals. I consider O&R a chemical. So if you're mixing up some
Yeah,
O&R, the water is not going to affect it as greatly as maybe it
Yeah.
would other chemicals.
I was thinking more along the lines of
Like
like
I
an
don't like
APC
things
or
I don't
something.
care about. Like I don't care about APCs when I'm mixing water with APCs.
Yeah,
like
no.
I very rarely care about that. 'cause
But like
I'm just-
glass cleaners, interior cleaners.
Glass cleaners would be worth mixing
Glass-
with
glass
distilled
is
for sure.
important.
I think interior cleaners would be worth mixing with distilled if you have the opportunity. I think certain maybe waterless washes. You don't have to, but I mean, it's a nice peace of mind. It's kind of the same thing with if you do have a bottle of like a little trigger sprayer bottle full of rinseless that you've done with distilled. It's just nice because it's just
Yeah,
like if
easy.
not that I'm worried about water spotting, but it's truly like I don't care if I
Yeah.
spray
Yeah.
it and just walk away. Don't worry about it. I know nothing will ever happen.
Yeah.
So maybe the best way to look at it is if you're doing the dilution with that kind of stuff, if
And
that's
then
what you're going
soaps.
to do.
Never mix a soap with distilled. That's a waste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no need to
Yeah.
do
It's
that.
actually, I think, may actually affect the performance in some cases when you're running it through like a foam cannon.
No, it doesn't.
No, not
O&R will kill
necessarily.
it, but
Oh yeah. No, I'm trying to think. Oh, that's what it was. Running not distilled water, but running deionized water
yeah.
through the foam. Actually, do you know MTM told us this? If you run deionized water through a foam cannon, the internals, and even actually a pressure washer, the internals will have more wear and tear if you run deionized water versus running normal hard water.
Interesting. And what's the reason behind that?
No, they said something about like the breakdown of like something about metal or something. It had something to do like the internals of something like it doesn't like deionized water for some reason. I don't like the minerals. I almost actually act as I have like a protective barrier or something. I can't remember. You can reach out to MTM if you want to ask them the specifics. But I remember the TRC was like 2 years ago. It was on the live. They actually talked about it. Go
That's
back,
cool.
Check it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Next
Moving on,
up, Toyota dude.
Visited Boise with the family a couple weekends
Nice.
ago. Of
Nice.
course, we had to swing by MVP Detail. Awesome store. Regret not getting his name, but chatted with the gentleman behind the counter. Great guy.
Possibly Connor.
Possibly.
Connor is the owner.
Connor's the owner. He's got him, Matt, and
Donovan.
Yeah.
Donovan's the young-looking kid.
Yeah. He's got
Yeah.
the
Matt and Donovan are the
facial
same
hair.
age.
Yeah.
They're cousins. Han says, hello, Towel people. What's up, Hans?
Hello, Hans. There's more responses to Hippolito. Then I got David Boyce here for Anthony.
Anthony, what's your favorite leather cleaner? Also, also your favorite leather cleaner conditioner. Also, please tell us why for both. Okay.
There you go.
So my favorite leather cleaner is Color Lock's mild leather cleaner. It's probably my favorite. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like that. I think Polestar is also pretty good. When I use that from time to time, but almost always I'm gonna reach for mild leather cleaner. I think that's just we've gotten so used to that over the years, and it works so well. I clean usually with mild leather cleaner, and then I always have a damp microfiber towel, either with just a light bit of O&R or even just water, and I'll always follow up just to get rid of any residual suds or anything like that, and that's that. And then leather conditioner, again same thing. The Color Lock leather sealant and or the conditioner is awesome stuff. Never had an issue with it. But I also do like Leather Star from Koshken. But now they're together, so I can say, I can say that it's not a competition anymore.
It's gonna be nice to not have to worry.
Yeah,
right?
no, Leather Star is awesome because it smells like honey.
Yeah,
We haven't used Leather Star in a while.
Not
we
in a
haven't.
minute.
We
no.
need to bust that stuff out and start
Yeah, that'd be
throwing
good.
down. Maybe on Dane's. Dane, have you conditioned your Recaros?
Not yet, because I use a seat cover to protect it from my stuff.
It doesn't
but,
matter.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
it can still happen. So yeah.
Your leather can still dry out.
Oh, I know that,
or-
yeah.
Well, he just put like a mat. He put
but also
he
it's
put a
Does he
leather
have
mask.
Does he have vinyl, or is it on those cars, or is it leather?
No, it's leather, but it's
He
a
got-
2-year-old
he got-
car. So
He got leatherette covers to go over the
Correct.
like it's like a mask that he put over.
It's a yes.
It's like a leather.
It's a seat bottom
type of
cover
thing that he
because
put over
I
it.
don't
It
want to
doesn't go on his
put
head.
I don't wanna
not on the
put-
head, but on the seat.
because I never
Like a
put my
potato, like it's
head
on the
on the
seat.
headrest. I don't know people who do that. That's not normal to me to put my head on the headrest in a car.
A lot of people
I'm
do,
always
and
going
literally-
for
A lot of people love doing this while
Dude.
they drive.
no. This is such
And you
a
get that grease spot on
Yeah.
the
yeah.
on the
No,
headrest
I
of
never
the
do
leather.
that. So that's never been a problem
Yeah,
for me. Yeah,
David.
I don't
so
let it
Proud
rest.
of you.
color lock
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
answer. We are currently out of color lock. A lot of color lock products.
Yeah,
which
we've got a bunch coming. Basically, what's going on is they are getting a lot of new packaging because of the KCX merger, and so we are hopefully soon going to be able to relaunch Color Lock in its glory, now branded with the collab KCX. So should be pretty cool, and we're real excited. So stay tuned. But in the meantime, Polestar and Leather Star
I guess
are
I didn't
great.
I didn't really tell him why. The reason
Right.
why I like the leather cleaner is because Lars, it was designed for leather, right? Let's just
Yeah.
start there. It was designed for leather. It's designed to be so mild on the. I mean, as far as cleaning, it will never harm. It's never going to deteriorate or anything. You never have to worry about it taking off that top coat. Whether it's a top coat of clear, whether it's a top coat
Yeah, it's
of
perfect.
whether it's a dyed top coat, you never have to worry about that transfer or anything, which is really nice. And it's also like it's safe enough to go on your skin. Like you literally wipe your hands
Yeah,
and
wash your hands with it,
Wash
yeah.
your hands with it, and it's super safe. So that's the reason there. And then the conditioner, specifically the conditioner has a lot of UV inhibitors in there, and so that's going to be great for older leather or leather that has been used that needs to have constant UV protection. Their leather sealant, on the other hand, does actually believe it does not contain.
does have UV.
It has a little bit of UV
Has a
in
little
there,
bit of UV.
but it mostly focuses on the friction and the abrasive resistance of creating like a nice coating there. Then they have their top life coating, which is going to be
Chock full of
even
UVs
chock full
and
UV.
scratch resistance.
Yeah.
So
There we go.
and it's mostly so sliding in and out of the car is a little easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and to answer that kind of point was why I got those, even though they're ugly. Those seat bottom covers I got for the Miata was so I could protect the bolsters on my nice Recaros. So when I slide out of the car, I'm sliding on that. I'm not sliding on the actual Recaro surface because I want to
Yeah.
protect those things. And the car's only 2 years
What
old.
about the
so-
foam though? When you're getting out, are
Yeah,
you
you're still leaning
getting
on
your
the
body
No, that's
out of
just
the
it.
foam?
That's
You're
the
not
trick.
in the
No,
foam?
I wedge my leg into the door jamb and I use the force of my thigh to push myself up.
Oh,
I
yeah.
never
forceful thighs.
I never put my weight. Yes, I have thick, strong thighs.
You have strong
That's
thighs, you
what
do.
I got going on.
That's what
But
I love.
yeah,
Love about
no,
you,
I
Dane.
know how to get in and out of that vehicle in a way that does not.
Remember how everybody was
hurt
giving
the
me
bolsters.
crap and they were like, "Oh my gosh, Levi, you're sitting on the bolster," and I was like, "Ha, joke's on you guys. I'm sitting on the door jamb."
Right? Yeah.
Because it was such a wide jam that I could sit on it, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not even touching the bolsters."
Yeah.
So-
No. In the Miata, the height from one to the other, and that kind of like little gap in the behind area of that where the bolster sticks up as you go forward, I just slide my leg back and I go into that area where it's level with the door jamb, and then you just slide out.
Yeah.
And that way you're never putting force down on
Dig it.
You're not breaking it. So I'm very cognizant of that.
Alexander with a happy Thursday. Love to see the new setup after the obsessed garage renovation. Any stickers or magnets on the cabinets yet? So we have we have a gift that we got from Spencer B. We have yet to put those on there. We did, just for fun, take some Rock Auto
Auto
magnets
ones.
and put them around and hid them. Gabe found them like
On the
next
inside.
day. Like I thought I
Yeah.
hid them pretty good, but he
did a good
he
job.
found a good he found them all. So we'd like more stickers and magnets, but maybe what we'll do is
We
make
need
a little.
enough to where it'll be overwhelming for them.
It would
to
be
Yeah.
too much. And what we'll do is plan it on a day when Gabe's not here,
Hmm.
and then what we'll do is make a live video or something of us installing all of them and talking about all the stuff that we're putting on,
No,
just so
invite-
that he's
no.
like,
We'll
he's
invite
like,
Matt as a collaborator, so he has to suffer and watch.
yeah, and then
Ooh.
yeah, and then we'll have, and then
Stop it! What are you
yeah,
doing?
and then Gabe won't be able to do anything because he won't be here, and he'll just have to watch but he won't notice it until he walks in the
Well,
door.
Levi, you've kind of
I like that.
you've kind of perfected like your wrapping and tinting skills at this point. I wonder if maybe we can just get some clear PPF that we can put over our magnets so that they can't be removed easily. If we could just put it over there, take a heat gun, really just bake them on,
seal
on
the
top
doors
of the cabinets.
Yeah,
but
I
not
like it.
permanently because they're magnets, right? We gotta make sure it's not actually hurting them, but just enough that he goes crazy trying to claw away.
I talked to your dad about this.
Yeah.
And he was all in.
Okay.
For the magnet idea, he really liked that we were thinking of that kind of stuff.
It's like a little
for him, he was
seasoning
like-
on
he
top
goes-
of an otherwise bland but very nice but bland dish. We're trying to dress it up a little.
Well, that's what
Have
I
a little
told him. I
fun.
said, we're all about personality here at the Rag Company, and it feels like we lost that personality when we went with like pink or not, like a light gray cabinet, not pink.
I was gonna say
It's like a-
pink would certainly
It's like a light
fit the
gray,
bill.
warm pinkish gray cabinet, and we don't have it. We need color. We need substance. We need a little pop.
It's agreeable gray.
What we see when we see
Agreeable
those,
gray, is that the color?
if you're obsessed,
it's a Sherwin-Williams.
if you're an obsessed type and you look at this stuff, you are satisfied with how it looks. However, there are definitely some of us who look at that and go,
look at me. I
"That-
don't walk around with empty elbows and
well,
arms.
right. What I'm
right?
saying is, when you see that, when I see that, probably
Yeah.
when you guys see that, I see a blank canvas,
Correct.
an opportunity.
I
I
see
do
an
not
opportunity.
see a finished product.
Correct, Dane.
I see the
Preach.
beginning of something
Yeah.
exciting, fresh, and new.
Amen.
And expedient. I can't talk. Speaking of things that are exciting, fresh, and new, let's go ahead and take a momentary break, just a quick one. We'll be right back after these messages. Don't go too far. We will see you in just a few minutes. Hello, and welcome back to the second half of Q&A Thursday here on the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel. As always, your host here, Dane Hennon. To my right, Anthony Fisher.
Thanks for having me, Dane.
You bet. And to my left, Levi Gates.
Hey.
And if you haven't hit that like button yet, come on, guys. Only takes you a second. Really helps us out. And when this is all done, please leave a comment below. But for now, keep those questions and comments coming here in the live chat while we go about answering all these. So let's go ahead and bring up your guys' questions and keep this train rolling. The cat is out of the bag. Oh no, Jesse, we certainly don't know what you're talking
I don't
about.
know what you're talking about.
Huh, crazy. Anyway, Brian, when are we getting a live wash in the new studio? When are we getting a live wash?
That is a good idea. We'll put that on the calendar.
Okay.
Do that soon.
Maybe
Something.
yeah.
I mean, we've certainly been doing some washing.
Maybe it's
in there.
something Anthony can do while Dane and I are enjoying pretzels
Yeah.
and lederhosen.
That's right. That's right.
I will. I'd wear a lederhosen.
You could wear one while you're
you
doing
guys.
Yeah.
Hey, at least you're out of all of us, you're the only one who actually owns a
David
pair right now.
DeRider saying Belgium's near the Netherlands. That's
Thank
right.
you, David. That's
Yep.
why I was trying to recall if you were Netherlands or Belgium, so that's the answer.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Then Roland Peters. Levi, go ahead.
Hey all, hope everyone's doing well. Just wanted to let you guys know, to know how you guys deal with leftover bug splats after drying the car after a car wash. Much love from the Netherlands. O&R and the Jersey Bug Scrubber.
Yeah,
Seriously.
or like just a waterless wash and a little
Yeah.
bit of or have even the ultra clay scrubber. You just flip
Yeah,
it
Ultra
over,
Clay Scrubber.
bring that with you because I know what you're saying. So you just
Every once in a while,
Yeah.
you got a couple leftovers.
You're gonna
That's
have
the
some
easiest
leftovers.
way. Yeah.
But it is important, like they were saying, when it comes to using a scrubber, that's a great move, but always have the proper lubrication
Yeah, and
with it.
What I explain to people too is one thing that's unique with O&R that not a lot of rinseless washes do, but is that it does attack that organic material in the sense that it lifts it off the surface or starts to try and get it to lift because of the emulsification properties. And so when it comes in contact with bugs, it does start breaking that bond loose. So it is a lot better than back in the day. I'd just use an APC, pressure washer, and a scrub brush and try and get all that stuff off. And then I'd have to go there with my nail and a towel and try and get the rest out. Where once I switched to O&R, I spray O&R on the front, hit it with a Jersey Bug Scrubber, and I'd get 95% of the bugs off. And then those remainers, I'd just do a quick spritz, of rinseless on the front again, scrub my final little spots, dry it up, and I was done. So I'd really try that if you haven't done that. And Anthony's right. A good waterless wash will do the same because of the emulsification properties of a waterless.
There we go. Then I've got G. Davis Anthony. Well, this is meant for Anthony to talk, but he took a drink at the exact moment I was throwing it over to him because I had his name at the beginning.
Anthony, I'm curious how many miles you put on the Evo a year. What type of motor oil do you use, and do you have concerns about condensation in the oil pan with the Idaho temperature extremes? So my garage is actually pretty consistent. I mean, with temperature, it doesn't get super crazy. I've never really found like crazy, any type of moisture in the oil, any type of separation or anything like that I've ever noticed. And I change it once a year, and I use Mobil 1 10W30. But there's probably, how many miles am I putting on that car? I don't know. A couple hundred. I mean, I'm not.
It's not
much. I mean, not much at all. And especially this year. I mean, I've put 5 on it.
Kind of feels like you don't love that car.
I do love it, Dane. I love
just,
it so much. I need to drive it
if love
more.
is driving, you're
You
not
know, they say
loving
if you
it.
love something, set it free.
I don't know. Do they say that?
Yeah. That means either sell it or drive it, but your choice,
What does that mean for my family?
Don't know.
So, yeah, but I'm not. If I lived in something crazier, where the climate was really changing, or if it was a constant flux in temperature, like every day, right? Let's just say my garage was freezing at night, and
Colorado with
100
hail
degrees
and
in the
stuff.
day, or something like that. That's when I think it's more of a problem. I think that a gradient temperature change over time isn't going to affect the oil as much, because realistically, I mean, I'd probably say it'd be the same temperature. I don't know. Same temperature for a month. I don't know. I think most of the time out of the year, my garage is never getting into crazy extremes in one or the other.
Yeah.
Not really.
Your garage is like decently insulated. You're able to protect from a lot of the usual stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Super Auto with some great advice. Smash that like button. Please do
Please
so.
do.
And if you're not subscribed, make sure you do that. If you're new here, it's worth it. I promise. Air First.
Using a Manzurna red pad, being a novice. I'll take your advice and put it into practice. Use or paint Angels Boys. Always appreciated and love seeing the lives pop up. Thanks, man. But seriously, try and get like a Rupes blue wool. They're probably about 15 pounds for the cost of those. But that is a great pad, and I think paired with microcut, you'll be amazed at what you can get out of the finish with that. And then I would then use that Manzurna red pad after that.
And then he follows that very helpfully
And
because
you're-
he's a carpenter.
All right. And you're using the DeWalt DA, being a carpenter. Yeah, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then I've got, hey, look at that, Carson Black, our local friend here, saying, hey guys, hope all is well. I ran into Adam at a Mexican restaurant a few days ago. First time I met him, and he is an awesome guy.
Yeah, no,
Adam's super nice.
what
too.
Mexican restaurant were you at that you ran into Uncle Adam?
Does he strike you as like a Corona Village guy
Yeah,
or a
right.
Chapala's or
Yeah.
I guess there's that Garibaldi's now.
Is there Garibaldi's is a
that-
Mexican
that
restaurant?
took over where Chapala's used to be over by the baseball field.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
something there. Or Amano if you're feeling crazy.
Ooh, maybe it was
because
at
Amano,
Amano.
my goodness, that is the most incredible Mexican food I've ever had in my life. Period. Moving on, Randall Gerlander.
Just curious, what's the difference between the 3 rinseless washes you offer? I'm looking to buy one with the sale, and I took the survey. It was very well put together. Thank you, Randall. The 3 that we are selling they don't do the exact same things, but they do the same things that we ask a rinseless wash to do. So the rules that Anthony and I set forth, all 3 of them achieve each one of those in their own way. O&R being the OG is very simple, very easy, very versatile. PNS Absolute goes about it in a little bit different method, a little chunkier with a different scent, but it gives you a little bit of thickness for those who feel like they need to have something more than what looks like just water that they're wiping on the surface. They need to feel and see a difference in the surface or in the ability of the wash, but it provides a slippery surface that pairs really well with Beadmaker, Defender, and Dream Maker. So, and then RRW cleans really, really well, but also leaves behind a very slick surface. So all three do it very well, but each one goes about it in a very unique format. So you really can't go wrong with any of them.
And then
Anthony, you got anything to add to that?
No, I think you're right. I think you got it, man.
Okay. Then we got Ryan Rigdon here. Good old Ryan.
Tried to use my code, but had a snafu in the cart, and I thought I had already used it. Labor 20 worked instead. Okay.
Good. Sweet.
Well, glad it worked for you at least there in the end. Harry Housewife. Levi.
Hey, beautiful people. Not sure my first post went through. Sorry, I've been quite a few last few months. Now that I'm officially official in the Dodo Juice family, I've been very busy settling in. Congratulations, man.
Congrats, buddy.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Working
Darren.
for a major manufacturer.
I'm very happy to hear that.
Nice.
Congrats. David Boyce, I too used that $20 off on August 15th and got KCX Polestar, Gummy Fix, and Scara Gloss Polish and 2 Eagle applicator sponges.
Good call.
Nice. Enjoy
Yeah.
I
it,
just
man.
realized
It's a good
it's
deal,
another
man.
Grand Ambassador with a job in the industry.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
That's why I said
right?
it. Another major
keeps
manufacturer.
happening.
Chalk one up for the
wild.
program again.
If you want to get a job in the field, you got to become a Grand Ambassador.
We're actually going through
kind of a
the
gateway.
applications right now, and so we had a lot applied this last trimester, which is really good.
More than last time.
Way more than actually almost double this last time. So we've been going through. Man, we've had definitely some standout people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking for something a little bit different this trimester than we had last trimester, in terms of like content style and whatnot. And so, but I think we're gonna have a good mix of people in this. So I'm really looking forward to that. But we have this system in our grading system where we take our list and we call it like a yellow light or like a green or we green
Red light, green light, yellow
red light,
light,
green light,
yeah.
yellow light type of thing. Like so, a yellow light's always kind of like right in the middle. Like we're really not sure, but like a yellow everybody will start off as a yellow, but then from there the yellow might move to a red, which means maybe not this trimester, right? But then we get some yellows that move to a green, right? Which means it's a go for this trimester. And but I will document and make note of people who are like moved to reds, and like obviously somebody to look out for the following one, or for the following trimester. And there's actually somebody that was that we marked as red last year, who I believe we're being moved into a green position this year. And so, but yeah, I still have 15 more people to go through.
We narrowed it down a lot.
To hyper analyze. So yeah, I mean,
How many applicants did you get?
this time it was 180.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
pretty
180.
solid.
So last semester was only 90. Is what it was, like 88 or something like that. And that's
And last
why
time was like slower than it usually is. Usually we have more
something
than that.
happened. Like something happened with either the post or something to where like the information was not getting out there properly. But yeah, we doubled it obviously this time going around. And we had a couple car club people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who I think information got out there. There's a car club, so we had a lot of people in the same car clubs that were applying.
Okay. Yeah.
The tough part, as usual, is that a lot of these pages going through. Some of them are detailing focused, right? Some of them are a little bit too.
Well, you get those car pages where it's literally just a million pictures of the same car, and there's nothing. You can't imagine like a product picture making its way onto there because it would screw up the feed they've created for
Well,
themselves.
and then I also got a lot of local business focused pages, right? Which is nothing wrong with that. It's the content consistency is like, it'll say like pricing, then there's a sale, and then there's a hey, looking for anybody want a last minute detail kind of post. It's
Right,
like
yeah.
And it's like the text.
It's your business page,
and it is a business page. I totally get that, but what happens is that the feed in the page, it's kind of like, okay, good content, awesome reel, and then it's like 5 pictures of like pricings and all these other things, and it kind of starts to it takes over the feed, it takes over the whole thing, and I go, okay, well, this is a lot of focused on this kind of local grind, which I totally get it, but I have to think, are those people going to have time to make content on top of what they're trying to do to survive.
We've selected
right?
business owners before. That's not immediately disqualifying.
It's
disqualifying
not. No,
thing
it's not
by
at
any
all.
means.
It's not at all. I mean, actually, a lot of the Grand Ambassadors that we actually have were running a business.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not just Weekend Warriors. There's a good mix in there, but
no. But the benefit to the Weekend Warriors, though, I mean, I'll just throw it out there. Some of these Weekend Warriors, they have more time to create content, and it's different. It's different every year. I can't say it's the same situation, but this year it's been a lot of local businesses that are really trying to push their stuff. And in the applications, they think that the Grand Ambassador program is going to help them in their local business. And I don't know if that's necessarily maybe the case. I think it can help them as an individual. And I think it can help them, maybe some marketing, or they can learn some, ideas and obviously collaborate with people. But I mean,
free product is certainly always a nice thing.
Free product does help. So, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, but I'm excited. I think that this is going to be a good trimester, so I'm really looking forward to it.
And I know it kind of goes without saying, but for those of you, if you happen to enter and you don't get picked, please do not get discouraged. Please don't take it as some kind of personal slight. It is truly difficult to go through a lot of these, but there are some things where you just go through and you're like, yeah, it came down to between this person, this other person just had the right fit for what we were looking for, and it's not about follower count. So before anybody gets, stuck on that kind of thing, it's just I feel bad when people maybe feel bitter about it or something. You certainly don't want that.
No, I think actually some of the people that we got.
So I think we got a really
we had
good selection this time around.
Pretty good array of people, but we actually had a lot of people with like 30,000, 40,000 plus followers. I mean, actually, we had like a lot of people to choose from. I'm telling you right now that like actually most of them aren't even being considered.
Yeah, I mean, you got to filter through a lot of them because, like I'm saying, it's like the car picture ones where it's just like a bunch of pictures of the same like model of car. You can build up a big follower base with that, but it's not necessarily going to make sense when they try to put a product in a story post or something. It's just different. But anyway, I was in charge of the small guys, so definitely the folks under like 500 sub count. I was going through and combing and trying to find some gold in there, and there were definitely a few. So I want to say thanks to everybody who applied.
Like a modern day prospector.
Yeah, that's right.
Panning for Instagram. All right, Anthony, how is your back doing this week from Umberto?
Dude, it's getting better. I actually went and saw my the neurosurgeon who did my surgery yesterday, and I was like, "Hey, here's how I'm doing." He's like, "Heck yeah!" And I'm like, "Cool. So when do I see you again?" He's like, "I don't think you are." And I'm like, he's like, ideally, you don't come back. And I go, I don't want to come back.
I don't want you here.
And so, but he said probably increase my weightlifting or my weight limit to try to lift a little bit more and more. And I just had to ask him a bunch of different questions and stuff. But I think that ultimately, I think I'm doing a lot better. I'm moving a lot better. I'm still sitting kind of weird. And I still, certain things I'm still doing a little bit weird, but there's other things I'm catching myself being like, oh, nice, this feels like natural. This feels normal again. And so slowly but surely getting back into that. And it's some days are like really good, and some days I might be sore, or it might be like muscle soreness, whatever it is. But then there's days that like I'm like, sweet, this is awesome. But I'm continuing to push myself more and more with either more steps or more activity. And like just this last weekend, I was able to actually shuffle my cars around, which was cool because it's like first time actually sitting in a car and pressing on a clutch and not like being like, oh my God, I'm dying. It was really nice. So that'll continue to get better, and I'll be driving the cars this weekend. So I'm hoping that, I'm hoping everything just continues just to be awesome.
Well, we hope so
Never
too.
go through that ever again.
Yeah, for real.
The Devil's in the Detail says the Hairy Housewife cheers. All hail King Dodo.
King Dodo.
David saying, may sound silly, but would it be possible to see the products and building in TRC Netherlands?
Right.
I would love to be amazed. I don't want to ask stupid questions to managers in Europe. Yes, so Patrick and the boys are there pretty much almost every day except for the weekends, and they're there normal business hours, Monday through Friday. You can always call ahead. I mean, Hans swings by there all the time, right, Hans?
He does.
I think Dino, maybe? Did you make a trip up there?
He's coming from a little further away.
Yeah, but Dirk Dew makes visits up there. Marvin from Gloss Boss makes a visit up there to pick up their orders. They place an order and they just go pick it up. So they're based in Hengelo. So you can easily drive over. They've got I mean, it's a warehouse and they've got a small office area, but if you just email Patrick, email info@theragcompany.shop, you can email Patrick and just say, hey, my name's David and I'm interested in swinging by one of these days. Is there a time that works the best? And maybe put in an order and go pick it up. And that way you can get a tour of the facility and all that kind of stuff. Or buy stuff right there.
Yeah,
So,
certainly so. All right, then next up, got Joey Belinsky here. Did a heavy cut with H902 and refined with rehab and an orange pad. My lord, the results were perfect. What a combo.
Actually, that would be a good combo.
Yeah.
Joey.
The rehab, people-
that would be a
people
killer
have been
combo, I
enjoying.
think.
Got a whole bunch of talk about choo-choos here and leche base and horchata acid. So there's that. Fun. Going back to our earlier conversation. My survey $20 went towards the Wolf Pack and 16x16 Liquidator 2-pack.
too close to retirement. Very
Too
nice.
close to
Again,
retirement.
thank you guys for doing the
Yeah.
survey. We saw how many people actually completed the survey, and we're really, really happy to see that. So thank you.
Agreed.
It helps us make a better experience for you, so we really appreciate it.
Kevin Miser, Anthony, I'm like you regarding stressing about my car's condition. How do you stay sane? I feel like my car owns me
Ooh.
sometimes instead of the other way around, and I could use some tips.
Oh, God, you're coming to the wrong person for tips. I don't know what you want me to say. We're screwed.
Well, you and Matt kind of
Or-
commiserate on that sometimes, right?
Yeah. I love commiserating about this topic, though, so it's fun for me.
Yeah.
No, I think I've gotten a lot better over the last probably couple years, for sure, and not because I'm actively was trying to get better. I think just priorities and time, right? Priorities, time, being a dad, and all those other things kind of change things a little bit. But like the one car I stress out about the most is probably the Evo, and that's probably just because it's weird. It's like this car that I feel like I'll never be able to find a cleaner version of it, and I just like it so much that I like looking at it, I like driving it, I like washing it, I like doing all these different things with it. But like that's been that way for like 13 years. I've owned the car now for 12 years. I've owned that car, and I've always been like that since like the moment I bought it. So
Yeah.
that's never changed. Like what actually probably helped, and I don't think it helped, but I think having a daily driver that I could have to be like, I don't care about this. Like that's why my truck is such a piece of crap. I mean, like visually, like somebody could like literally throw a baseball at it and dent it, and I probably would be like, I wish you wouldn't have done that.
But amongst the other owners
Yeah,
of
but
that
you've
vehicle,
done
they
stuff to
all
that
think
truck
that
to
it's
make it you.
amazing.
But I've done stuff to the truck to make it at least better than what it was.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think there's different. I have like this mental tier list in my head of like things that like, you know, if like the Evo is like my top priority of keeping that nice and you know, investing money into that to you know, not own me, but to like, you know, I make that better or you know, that's my crazy car. Then like there's other levels of like maybe my RSX, which was not a piece of crap, but it was like it was in okay condition, right? I mean, it was pretty good, but it needed paint work, it needed other things. That went from like being at the bottom of my list that's second in line, because now I have the most amount of money into that in comparison to the other cars. And then it's like maybe like my Honda Civic is after that, and then maybe it's my Dodge Ram, and then the motorcycles kind of on their own like tier system. But I think the best way for me to stay sane is I have a safe place to put the cars that I care about or stress about, right? So like my crazy car is on the far end of the garage. Nobody ever needs to go over there unless they're adjusting a sprinkler or doing anything in the power box. That's only me. That's usually only me.
No touching.
And I purposely leave enough gap, right, in case somebody brushes up against it or whatever. But nobody ever has to touch that car, move that car, see that car. So that was helpful, getting that out of the way, because it used to be my wife parked next to that car every day, and she walked out with groceries next to it every single day, and I was like, oh my god.
Remember the time you guys left the dogs in the garage?
Yep. One time my old roommate put
during the 4th of July.
Put my dog in the garage during 4th of July, and my dog jumped all over my car. And thanks to OptiCoat Pro Plus, there was very minimal damage.
Whew.
But I've done things like that, and then obviously I will probably never not worry about parking next to people. That's ingrained in me. I'm always going to park not in with the normie people. I'm always going to park out and like...
See, I like that. I like it as a challenge to get in. I want to be as close as I possibly can.
Well, Dane does the same
people.
thing. Dane parks his Miata wherever he wants to park it. But Dane also has this weird luck where he doesn't get dinged, like, ever.
Yeah.
I also just have a weird luck of getting parking spaces that are in favorable spots.
I usually say when I pull into a parking...
Don't.
Except for the one time where the
you.
Jag unfortunately suffered horribly from a, let's just assume the guy was inebriated and backed into a parked car.
That would happen, and I would be like, fine, I guess I'm not parking far away enough. Now I'm parking like 2 miles away.
How much further can you park away?
So that's like ingrained in me though, and that didn't change. I was like that in high school. Like I was still like that. Like with my first Honda Civic I had, I still always parked in the very back. So that part never changed. But I think that the only times I'm ever like really like stressed out is if I'm driving a car that I care about or a motorcycle, whatever it is, and I can't have eyes on it or at least know it's in a safe spot. That's one thing. And then also, other people, right? Like for example, like car shows. I wish I could say that car shows don't stress me out, but if I'm honest, they do stress me out. And that's why I don't go to car shows. I'm not like a big cars and coffee guy. Like I love looking at cars and going to that stuff, but I don't like having my cars there because people...
People scare
people, they do. Like I remember remember that Cars and Coffee we had over at the Edwards Theater?
Yeah.
And I had parked my Evo like right next to our booth, and I'm like, oh, this is a safe place. What I did not know is that was going to be a gathering of moms pushing their kids around in strollers.
Right.
And I'm seeing all these strollers going. I'm seeing kids with their rattlers and like they rubbing it up
and
against
they'll
cars.
chuck stuff out of the stroller.
And I was like, oh my God, like this is crazy. So I guess to answer the question in short would be, I've gotten a little bit better over time, but ultimately I put them in safe. I try to do things in a way that feels the safest to me. And if something happens outside of that, I've accepted it. But I have like deals in my head where I go, if this happens to this car, I'm selling it. And it's gone. And then I don't have to worry about it because I can't deal with the stress of knowing something like, something crazy happening.
Once the seal is broken, you have a hard time.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like if something happened where I'd had to have half my car repainted or something, like especially if it was like the Evo, probably just sell it. I wouldn't want to think about it. I'd be too stressful. So I never really got a whole lot better. Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Grant Hot Tree. My family scrubs Anthony's garage floor with a pH2 acid floor cleaner.
Boy.
Please like, share, and subscribe so my family can get paid more to keep Anthony happy. Well, that is true.
I need to keep them doing that until I can get some like Swiss Trax flooring or something because those oil stains aren't going to clean themselves.
No,
right?
Apparently
no,
not.
especially from your oil changes.
And I will give them gloves eventually to wear while they're scrubbing. But in the meantime, I feel like it's developing good calluses.
I was going to say, are you just waiting for the calluses to form so that you don't have to give them gloves?
Or until they don't have any skin to worry about.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well that's sad.
Halloween's around the corner.
Super Auto, a base is a substance that can neutralize the acid by reacting with the hydrogen ions. An alkali is a base that dissolves in water.
There we go. So once again, it's the alkalis and bases are similar, and yes, sometimes it overlaps, but they're not exactly the same. Is what we're getting.
There we go.
Yeah, very helpful.
All right, thank you.
Yes, and then we also have more scientists
alkaline
here
is also
in the
referred
chat.
to as a base for acids.
That's why.
And then Dane, alkaline is also known as base because they dissolve in water. There you go. Mm-hmm. But remember that on all bases are alkaline. That's right.
There we go. Excellent.
Honestly, Levi, thanks so much. I was about to go and get something with more cut, but the pad change I'll try first. Yeah, just do that. See what you think.
Mm-hmm. Then we are... This is funny. Yes, Neil White, I am aware of King Gizzard, so that's a fun little reference I caught. But other than that, we've got... Oh, no. Spencer Mation, Dane, where's my podcast? So we actually have like 4 people ahead of you in line with recorded podcasts. However, part of an issue is if you want to blame anything, you can blame our Amazon videos because they have taken up a lot of Nick's time, who was editing the podcast prior to this. I am taking over and editing duties for some of the podcasts for those, main show productions. However, it's a slow process because I got a lot of other things I got to do around here.
And he's got vacation coming up. He's got to get ready for
I'm
that
gonna
too.
be out for
several
Spence. Weeks. So we'll get it done, but it's going to be a while. I just want you to be aware of that. All right.
Devil's in the details saying 4-screen Swiss tracks. What about AstroTurf?
Ooh, yeah.
Dude, I can see Levi
you can
with
park on a
AstroTurf,
lawn
dude.
in your garage.
What if? Oh my god, that is literally
That's
Levi's.
the
Like,
Levi
that's
way.
Levi's dream right there. But no, we wouldn't be AstroTurf.
nice.
It would be like a good fake, like a real
alternative
fake
but
grass, with
nice
drainage.
grass.
With drainage, right?
Yeah.
Like
So-
the Dutch do.
Like the dog pee spots.
Or that. I was going to
Yeah.
say, what about those like cinder blocks where they let grass grow in between?
Here's the thing that would suck. My luck, I'd put all that in. It'd be perfect so I could have drainage, all that stuff, and my dog and my cats would use it. And the neighbor cats would come over and use it. Then all of a sudden I've got cat turds and dog poop.
Gangbanging cats
They're
inside
just
there.
in my garage using the restroom because they're like, it feels like
no.
grass. I've already had to catch and yell at my dog because he'd start walking into the garage to go to the bathroom.
But could you imagine?
And I go, what are you doing? That's not where you go.
Just being barefoot during a nice, nice soap and water, rinseless
Can you
wash.
imagine? I would love that.
Rubbing your feet through that fake grass and letting
All
everything
for
drain
it.
below.
All for it.
All right. We got a minister in the chat here. of
Green
fresh.
Swiss tracks, Minister of Fresh. You know it, Levi. I gave my lime green in my studio. Forest green would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then G. Davis referenced my Sequoia question. The carpet has been cleaned extensively, just looking to reduce the lingering scent that remains. Would an odor bomb of some sort help? An odor bomb would. Gee, I'd probably try and use a little more Terminator and Finisher just to try and break up whatever's left. Short of that, an odor bomb would be your best bet.
Visit our friends over at BioBombs.
Yeah, they got some pretty wicked
They
stuff.
got some cool odor eliminators in there, and you can also see if you can. I don't know what do I have? Why can't I think of the dang name? What's my blue box I use? Why my
Your
brain, my
ozone
ozone
machine.
machine? That would. Oh no, I don't think ozone would work for a spot like that.
It might.
Though.
It might. You never know.
It might get it out of like the main air, but I think that area would still be pretty concentrated.
Yeah, you'd have to
Yeah.
put
It wouldn't be
over that.
perfect, but at least it's something.
Yeah. Okay. Next
Good
up,
luck, G.
All right, Tamara.
Tamara says, "I love my Vibrams 5-finger casual." What?
She's got the shoes with the toe shoes.
Yeah, okay, toe shoes.
I hate those, Tamara.
Yeah.
I hate them. I don't like the way they look visually, but
it's a little
never,
unsettling to see.
I've never actually worn them, so I don't know. Maybe I could love them. But
What if you got a pair and you fell in love with them?
That guy that went to that wedding,
My sister's brother-in-law.
your sister's brother-in-law, the guy that wore all white.
It's a funny story.
Oh.
My sister's brother-in-law, when she got married, he showed up to the wedding. He loves wearing white. That's all he wears.
Yeah.
Right? He's married to my sister's husband's sister. So he showed
got
up.
long hair, right?
He had
Didn't he?
long hair. He looked
hair?
like the character in Bedazzled.
I know.
Brendan Fraser played the drug dealer.
Yeah,
He looked like that.
Didn't you say he was also into like carpentry too? It's
I
like
don't know. I
Following
can't
the
remember.
footsteps of JC or
No,
something.
anyway, he only wore white. So he'd wear a white shirt, white shorts, and then those Vibram 5-finger casual shoes.
Was they white? They were white,
But
though,
they were
right?
white.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, that's weird. And then the next day, he came to like the rehearsal dinner, and he was wearing like a white like tank top, white shorts, and those shoes. And I go, he didn't really change. He had a button-up shirt on the day before that was white. So I was
Yeah.
like, it's weird. And then my sister goes, no, he only wears white. I said, oh. Then he showed up to the wedding wearing those white 5-finger shoes with white pants and a white tank top and then like a blue dress shirt that they had to buy last minute
But, like, the
because
shoes
my
never
sister
changed.
found out that he was going to wear white to her wedding, and she goes, you don't get to wear white
All
to
white,
an
yeah.
American wedding. And he's like, and he's European, but he was
He's
like
Greek, right?
I think he's Greek, but he was like, I only wear white. What do you mean?
I was going to say, speaking of Greek,
was
seeing
great.
those makes me think of a person if they were just like made like a statue, like
We're
a
not
statue
trying to
of
make
David
fun of your
kind thing.
shoes, Tamara. I want you to know that. We're just saying that we've had run-ins with some weird folks that have worn those shoes, but I'm sure being flat-footed,
I've
they're
never-
very comfortable.
do
I think if
do
you and I got a
wear-
pair,
Do you
we'd
wear
probably
socks
love
with
them.
those? Do you wear socks with those?
I don't know, maybe toe socks.
Why would you wear socks with those? Because they're digging in between the toes. Your socks don't do that, so it's gonna feel weird.
But people love running in them because they feel like connected.
Like I'm having like this weird like
You're having
Tamara,
that
this is
reaction
amazing.
some people have to like
thank you.
microfibers.
yeah, it's like it's making my skin crawl.
You're just gonna start going.
I don't like that.
All right, Dane, get it out. Get the next one up here.
Oh yeah.
Dane, speaking of Dixon's, I think you should rock the Latitudes bamboo shirt.
Ooh, I do love the bamboos. The bamboos are great. I need to get more of those.
Yeah. The new work shirts I ordered for Mechanica are
Sorry,
Dixon's.
I'm not trying to change the topic, but I do need to do a Dixon purge.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we're coming
Are
up
you
on.
gonna do a listener purge of Dixon's?
What does that mean?
Like some of our, should we do a live Dixon
Like a
sale
live auction.
I'll
like
sign
sale
them.
auction that we've got?
Sign them. I'll sign
Mix
them.
it in like we did in
Most
years
of them are
past.
large, tall, and XL, but I got it. I have too many. I
Yeah,
got
I
to
do
honest.
too.
Like I straight
Okay.
up, I have way too many. They got to go. And my bar and my what's that called? My closet is bending.
You're not using
no.
oak?
Well, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the heck it is. Right? Maybe it's maple, but it's. I just have too many. I got to get rid of them. I'm not wearing them very often. Like it's just.
Well,
they're
it's 'cause
really
it's summertime.
nice.
That's why you're getting in the fall and winter. You're gonna wear them more often.
Oh man, I just don't know.
But I understand what you mean because I just went through mine, and I was like, "Ooh, I got a lot."
But if you're gonna sell them and try to make some money back, you got to do it in like fall and winter. Otherwise, you'll lose your butt.
Yeah, David, what's the difference in the towels coming out of Korea and China? I hear so much about Korea is a goat for towels. They are. They've been making them the longest. And we have great relationships with all our factories in Korea and China. And our Chinese factories actually use our Korean yarn.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Our Chinese
True.
towels are just as high quality as our Korean towels.
Yeah.
But the
It's-
reason,
Yeah, the price is
go
just
ahead.
different.
Yeah, one of the biggest reasons is sourcing
Cost.
wise. I mean, they've been one of the longest manufacturers of microfiber over there in that country, but also their yarn has always proven to be substantially better.
Yeah, the higher sun.
Yeah, I mean, stitching wise, quality wise, there's always been a lot of stuff. But I mean, with that said, though, Chinese manufacturers and they're at that same level. They're getting to that same level. If not, they're already there.
Yeah,
The-
and they
the
use
credit's due
ours.
for the
Ours
quality.
use German machines, like the machinery
Yeah,
they're
they're German
using.
machines. It's all everything is.
It's an international process
Yeah,
in the end.
it's an amazing process.
But Korean towels. I mean, that's. I mean, you can take a look at all of our Korean offerings. I mean, Gauntlet, Eagle Edgeless 550s. Those Pluffles are Korean that we actually have right now currently at a discount, as well as the Everest 550s,
Cyclone
also
Mitt.
Korean. Right, the Cyclone Mitt's also Korean. And so I think we actually still have, and we will still hopefully continue to have many years in the future, one of the highest abundance of Korean towels in the world.
That you'll find. Yeah, no, that's true. So the reason for the perception where you hear, oh, the goat and all that is just because they got to the plate first, making the highest quality really early on, developing it that way. Whereas China, the perception, a lot of people would do that where they build stuff to a cost. You can certainly have it at a higher level, but the expertise came with more time. And like they said, with our yarn from Korea being used in both countries, that's an important aspect as well. But that's the reason for the perception difference is people oftentimes would go to China because the assumption is, oh, it'll be cheaper, that whole thing. But actually, if you build to a higher cost, a higher quality, you can do that. It's just you have to stress that's what you want to do, and then that's the way it's done. Okay.
How many do we
G.
got
Davis.
left for the last 15 minutes?
Oh, I got like
what
4
page are we on?
pages, bro.
Let's burn some. G. Davis, I heard the cleaner class is no more.
Oh,
Will TRC
whoa.
take on their large stock of unsold Alex Duar themed family planning products?
I have a freaking shirt. I've only worn it like 3 times. Now I can't wear it.
Guess we're just gonna have to toss them in the garbage.
What?
Who announced
Who
it?
decided
He's not
that?
allowed. He needs to get up on this page and come on here and
Jamie,
explain
clear
himself.
your name.
Jamie.
What's happening?
Clear your name, brother.
Bro,
I didn't-
Jamie, what?
I didn't know that the cleaner
Next
cast
one.
is
What
no
are you
more.
doing?
What the heck?
Levi and Anthony, do you ever reach for Waterlines wash?
Waterless
Never.
wash?
Waterless wash?
I don't know what Waterlines wash
what
is,
that
but
is.
I'm assuming waterless wash is what you're saying. Yes, we do.
Yes.
Okay.
Like that bird bomb video. we
David,
did.
reason is the iron can't attach to the water, so it seeks a replacement and tries to use the pipes. Yep.
All right.
Okay.
It's actually, Kevin, deionized water will leach the metals in the foam cannon or
Yes.
pressure washer.
Ah.
My AR Blue has a warning on the owner's manual about using deionized
Okay,
water.
good.
There you
Okay,
go.
good. Thank you.
Got
I'm
the
glad,
answers. Thank you,
glad-
guys.
Glad
That
those are the
helps.
answers. Looking
The
forward.
Lizard 2018 Camaro is what I plan to paint, correct, cut, and polish with the DA machine. Some scratches, swirls, and a bad ceramic coating job from the dealership. Thanks for the tip, fellas. Good luck. Always do the least amount of damage first. That's what you want to do. Like, so start off
Minimize
with
the damage.
Start off with a soft pad and a polish first. See what you get. Then you can step up to the next aggressive pad with the polish before you step up to a cut. G. Davis, I'm a bit behind, but I just finished watching TRCMA. My favorite part was when Anthony brought the German guys from Coach Kemi to his home to watch his Blu-ray copy of the Marvel's Eternals. Eternals. That's
man.
great. Gee.
Yes, that was a hard watch.
This
hard watch.
lizard. Also, not affiliated with King Gizzard, lol. Totally would understand why you would think that, though. You know, I just had to check.
G. Davis, Joey Belinsky, I was not aware. Exciting news indeed.
Oh.
And Josh McKay, follow-up. Thanks, guys. Good to know that I am not doing something wrong. I'm on city water, so I didn't know if chlorination had an effect. Not sure of the TDS in the water either. You can check. You can go to Home Depot and pick up a TDS
strips.
monitor and see exactly what it is. So, and then Rick, what's up, TRC? Better late than ever. Welcome back, Rick.
Happy to
Appreciate
see
it.
you back.
And Joey, hit that button, fam. It doesn't cost you a single thing.
True story. Like.
Anton, sorry I'm late. 5 a.m. here.
Well, you are here now, so there is that. Thank you.
TRC, can you please, pretty please, make sell magnets, please? It's a good idea. We might add that into one of our little ideas.
All
Hans, want to know how your back is, Anthony?
Getting better, Hans. Thanks for asking.
All right, now on to page 3. Superado.
I'll say, and I got a 5 Rock Auto and 4 Hemming muscle machine magnets on the mini fridge right here in my office that I could send you.
Nice.
Hey, I've got 3 on my desk that they put back on there. So,
My garage fridge has a bunch of Rock Auto ones.
yeah, so is my freezer. David, Boy, Dane, Anthony, and Levi, I'll be sending you guys some cool JDM decals.
Yeah.
I like
Should
that.
I put attention, Dane? Sure
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
Thank you,
JDM.
David.
Make
dude,
sure
all
it
the
comes
way.
to me.
Yeah. Chad Broad ordered Tuesday when the sale started and already received it. Excellent service as always. Congrats, Chad. Glad.
Good job being on the ball like that.
Lucas Blade from customer service. Super important update. Liquid Death casket
Oh.
is over $41,000.
Oh my God.
For those who don't know what that is.
So our friends at Liquid Death partnered with
they
Yeti
don't know us,
and
Levi.
built a
They
casket
don't know
cooler.
who we are.
They did a life-size, full-size casket that they turned into a cooler with the help of Yeti. And they have the Yeti closures on the casket. Anyway, they launched it on Wednesday morning, and they have literally, they ended tomorrow at like 11 a.m. Pacific. So it's at $41,000 is what it's going for. So
Crazy auction.
They have an auction happening. It's pretty rad, but there's only one in existence.
That's crazy.
So, Aaron, thoughts on the new Jurassic World Rebirth? Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali are in it. I have not seen even the preview for it.
I
so.
actually wasn't even aware that was
Yeah.
going to be a thing. All I know is the last couple of Jurassic Worlds, kind of disappointing. I'm not really that into it. I miss the original movies.
Yeah.
Neil White. Hopefully better than the last few movies. Yeah, feel the same, Neil. Devil's in the Detail. Neil White, you need a YouTube movie review channel. I want to be a guest on the Battleship episode. Oof.
There you go.
I don't envy the person who has to review that. Oh, boy. Yeah, there you go. Well, that's certainly one opinion. Nate Marcy.
You could create large magnetics of each brand's logo to put on the upper cabinets. We'll add color and distinguish what's in each cabinet. Just an idea. That's
I like
a great idea,
I do
Nate.
like that.
Yeah.
Nate, good idea.
All right. And then Neil, once again, bashing the new Alien movie again.
Neil, it's not necessary. I'm probably going to go watch that movie again because there's only crap that's out there right now. And so I don't know if I
Should have gone with me to see Smoking the Bandit last night.
and I don't know if I've never been
So
a
fun.
big Beetlejuice
You know what else
guy.
is? Do you know what else is out? Hey,
I don't know.
You know what else this weekend?
Huh.
At Throwback Cinema or Flashback Cinema.
What's
What?
that?
Lord of the Rings, the extended edition,
I would love that.
and then the following
Go to the
weekend,
Shire.
the following weekend
Yeah.
after that, it's
Oh,
the
man.
second one.
Oh my gosh, the Two Towers.
The Two Towers.
The Return of the King.
And
following
then the
that.
following weekend, it's the Return of the King. All
Oh
three
my
extended
God, dude.
versions. You could sit in the theater and watch them.
Do you think they'll let me bring Gandalf's
our-
replica sword into the theater?
You could dress up if you want. I don't think they
I don't think people know that
Oh,
I do
man.
have some replica.
But I'm just saying that's something you could
might not
do.
be
Look at
shocking.
that. It's flashback
He's nerdier
cinema.
than he lets on.
Yeah.
They've got it they're having it at the Bodo. They might be having it at Eagle Lux. You don't know.
Yeah.
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 All
I
right.
think Dane needs to dress up as Boromir.
Oh my God. Hans.
Bug scrubber with any car soap. It's all I use. O&R is also great for a fellow Dutchie here.
Uh-huh. And then I've got David.
Can confirm this. Ordered from Hans and followed the advice. I also keep a bottle of rinseless 4 milliliters and 1 liter, sort of a bug spray, detail spray with a bug scrubber and a
Nice.
365. There you go.
Yep.
And then David Boyce, I'd be afraid to drive any Evo because I'd worry about someone rear-ending me at parking lot dents and intentional scratches.
Those things happen. It is
Yeah.
stressful.
What's
Yeah.
the shelf life for O&R in a spray bottle? Forever.
The color will fade, the
Yeah.
smell will fade, but I think it'll still actually be mixed,
It's fine.
so you'll be fine to use it.
All right. And then I got Joey here. Grand Ambassador here. Send jobs. I'm pretty sure the guy who is in charge of your company used to be named that. Let's see. We've got Alkaline Towpat.
Dan! Anthony's got some strong opinions about different trimesters. Is he moonlighting as a doula?
There's always
I
something.
had a good talk with Dan the other night. It's good always thing to chat with. And Dr. Owen.
Dr. Owen, Dr.
Hey.
Samuels in the chat. Dr. Detail saying hi. Thanks for the sale. Couldn't help myself, but lots of Pluffles and Everest 550s, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So he says he needs more towels like a whole
Autocorrect.
like a whole, good luck. Not a good look for a neurodoc. Yep, left here. So
Yep.
Thanks, Owen.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Owen.
man.
Appreciate it.
And
Thank you.
enjoy them. Like I said, people, the Pluffles, once they're gone, they are gone.
Yep.
We have no
We don't,
plans
have,
to
we don't have
reorder.
anything on the docket.
Yeah.
We'd certainly like to, but there's nothing.
Eventually, the
in
Pluffle
the
could return in a
works
different form,
right now.
possibly.
Yeah,
but
we've
right
had a
now-
couple of design variations that we've been tinkering with, but
yeah, right now
nothing
that's-
concrete
that'll
to
be
where
the-
we're like, yeah, we're going to do this.
Yeah, that'll
so,
be the last of those for right now.
If you want your towels to survive, you got to keep
yeah.
buying them.
Bruce's garage with a
Fingers crossed for the Grand Brassman. Thank you, Bruce.
Yeah, buddy.
And then we've got Rick Smith that says, from a putting out content perspective, the contenders should take a page out of the JTC playbook.
That's
Yeah,
like the
just-
nicest way to say just
do everything
off-
you can. Do everything you can, and then just stop.
Man, jeez.
Wait,
Apparently,
Does Jamie stop making content?
no, I don't think he has. I think he
No,
just
I
stopped
think-
making his podcast probably.
But
for
I
a
didn't
while.
know that until just now.
It's
Yeah.
whatever he's got cooking. He's been real quiet.
What is Jamie
He's been
cooking?
real quiet
Is-
about
I'm
whatever's
hoping it's
going
some
on.
Louisiana gumbo.
And every
Oh.
time I ask, he
Maybe
just
he's
gets
building
quieter.
a new fan boat.
Maybe he's building a fan boat,
Yeah.
right? Maybe
I
he's
mean,
out
yeah.
crawfish hunting.
It could be any of those things. I'm sure. We
And then
won't
Joey
hear it
says,
here,
"Don't
though.
apply for the free products. Apply because you want to spread the beautiful microfiber."
Amen,
gospel."
Joey. Thank you very
That's
much.
right.
Yes, thank you. Joey has drank the punch.
Yep. Rick, so clean Eileen is who you need.
So clean, Eileen.
I'm not familiar
And
with
I are
that.
first just out of the hot tub to strip loin steak with a Dublin Bay prawns.
Ira has
Friday tomorrow.
He's got a good life,
Oh,
man.
He's
man.
always eating these like
Sauvignon,
wonderful dishes.
TRC Live, life again is good. Man, I want to hang out with you.
You got
Dude,
the
he's eating a
Sauvignon
bit of
going?
steaks. He's
Yeah.
hot tubbing. He's always
Yeah.
eating good, like, what, crab legs, prawns,
yeah,
lobster.
ready
like,
for Friday morning.
what are we doing wrong?
You
We don't have
feeling a
hot
little
tubs.
Irish?
We should get some hot tubs, but like some like budget friendly ones. Like,
Oh no, this
They have
just
them
turns
at- they
this
have them
turns
at-
into a
they
hot
have them
tub
at-
stream.
They have them at Fred Meyer's
no,
for like
we're-
$300
we're
right now.
Back
at
to how I
clearance.
got Dane to buy a pool.
He used it once. He soaked once and then let it die.
We take the
Oh,
cameras
sorry.
out there and we put them over the top of the basin, the drain
Yeah.
basin
yeah,
thing.
oh, God, we do.
That
need
way,
a
if
hot
you
tub.
spill, at least you're covered.
Yeah, Bruce, you get free products. Anthony said I had to pay him.
Oh no.
Joey and that sweet, sweet Graham Platic. Bruce, how much?
Oh boy.
Let's hurry up here, Dane. We got 5 minutes
I'm
left.
cruising, man.
Anthony's
I'm going
squatting
through
500 pounds by
I don't
the end
think
of
I
the
ever
year.
squatted 500 pounds. I don't think I'm planning. I don't think it's anything I want to do.
it. I think Glenn would take that as
Yeah.
a challenge. though.
Dan, I asked in the past about dealing with wash and induced marring on the Miata coated in Diamond Body 36. Would Uno Advance be compatible with Diamond Body 36? Sure, yeah.
I think
That is, would it affect the durability gloss hydrophobics?
depending on the
Man, it's contagious.
Yeah.
go with like the lightest drooling pad you find.
Go with like a white foam
Go
or
like
something.
a white foam. You can go like a black foam. Lake country.
Yeah.
But I think that Uno Advance has such comparable hydrophobics to some of the coatings that are out there. I don't think you would notice a difference, and I also don't think you'd notice a difference visually. But it may also not even remove the full coating, right? So you might just be, knocking a little bit off
The
the
other thing
top.
you could do, Dan, is hit it with Uno Advanced and the white foam, see if that works. If it doesn't get out the marring, then I would move up to the yellow foam. But then after that, let it sit, maybe overnight if you want, in the garage. Then come back out, wipe it off. And then I might hit it with just Quick Body. Top
Yeah,
it with Quick
the Quick
Body
Body's pretty
if
good
you
for
really
that.
wanted to just bump up the hydrophobics. So
Yeah.
All right, then I got Shane Stevens here.
if you wanted to expand from working out of your home garage and get a shop that had room to work on 2 vehicles, what would be an ideal sized shop? Well, bigger than whatever garage you're working in, really. I mean, you got to look at it from like my garage is a 24 deep by 36 or something wide. Right? I don't even know how wide my
You could
garage
park a
is.
couple cars in there, but you wouldn't be able to work on a couple cars at the same time.
Yeah, it's a 2-car garage, but it doesn't. There's not enough room to open up the doors on 2 cars.
Like
and
Sid's
have
garage is a good
cabinets
example.
on the garage wall and all that stuff. So what I do is I pull in and I work on 1 car in my garage. I don't ever park 2 cars in my garage because that gives me enough room to walk around. That gives me enough room to open up all the doors. Like if you had to work in your garage with both your cars in there and your motorcycles and you had to clean out Katie's car, it's a little too tight, right?
Yeah, one like
But your garage, that 3 bays, is good enough to be a 2-bay shop.
2-bay shop, yeah.
You'd have enough room to work
Yeah.
on 2 cars. So
Yeah.
realistically, you're probably looking at about 600 to 700 square feet for
shoot for like
a
7,
2-bay,
yeah.
but I would shoot for more like 7 to 1,000 because you got to remember you're going to need room for all your cabinetry, countertops, anything like that because you have to
and
store stuff.
vacuums, and you need to have enough room in front of the car.
You might
behind
want
the
to put a
car.
fridge in there. Maybe you need a desk.
Can you fit a truck in there? Right. Those
Yeah.
are all things you got to be able
Yeah.
to figure out, and yeah.
Yeah, fitting a truck, maybe a boat, maybe an RV. That's the other thing is like having too short of a door.
How
You're
crazy
going to
you
want
wanna get.
You may want a 16-foot door, and you're going to want a wide door because, man, if like that was the only thing. Like at my old shop, I had a big door so I could pull boats in and out, no problem. But it was a 14-foot wide, and it was 14 foot high, but a wide door. So I had no problem getting a boat in and out, but I had a hard time getting RVs in because it was too short. Like here, we've got a 14-foot door. It's a little tight.
Yeah.
And it's a tight opening, right? Getting your dad's boat in and out, it's very tight. It was
Yeah.
like my shop. You don't have a lot of space on either side.
Not really.
But if that door was another 2-3 feet on either side, or even 3 feet, it would be a lot easier, a little more room. So those are the kinds of things you got to look out for is figuring out exactly what are your needs, what are you detailing, what's your future plans.
Yeah.
So really start looking for 1,000 square feet at probably the maximum 1,200 maximum, but realistically minimum 750, and you're like that's kind of cutting it.
And that's
So-
why I was going to say Sid's garage is a good example because she has a 3-car setup. It's about 1,100 square feet. She runs a business out of her garage at her home, like you're talking about. And she generally has the capacity to work on 2 vehicles at the same time because it's 1 2-car door and 1 single-car door. And she'll be working in the 2-car portion where that's the normal space. But then she also has Delaney, your daughter, working over on the other side so they can work simultaneously. I was just going to point that out as an example. For like a home garage, that kind of makes sense. So anyway, moving
my
along.
dad's new shop has huge doors.
Yeah.
G. Davis, after a few more kids, Anthony will rent out the Evo on weekends to Hans Klosen to use as a Netherlands-themed disco fudge emporium.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Anthony's ultimate anxiety was running into the couple from Larry Miller Honda at the Silver Creek Spa.
Oh, God.
That's coming up this weekend.
Oh, boy.
It's got Honda days.
Yeah, I do.
boy.
Yeah, I forgot about the couple from there.
Well,
Yeah,
go
they're-
back, Dane. What was
They'll-
that? What did,
they'll
what
see
did
him this
I got
Yeah.
2
Lars say?
pages left to go, so...
Hans says, G. Davis, only thing I need to add is a few orange underglow LED strips. There you go. Nice. And then Anton, how do you guys think about flat pads versus textured ones like a waffle? The textured ones just run a little cooler. That's the only difference.
That's why they're like that.
That's why they're like that. Okay.
Air first.
Sorry, Anthony, but you still look Anthony. Better. Getting better, though. Hopefully, my old flower.
Well, we're going to swap them next time. So Anthony's over here, Levi's over there. So it's like going back to the natural order of things. Yeah. We'll keep mixing it up.
No, Anthony, Vibrams are so comfy.
Are
it's
they?
Good to know. Thank you.
I have no idea.
All right,
We've never tried any on.
Last page. Boom.
Do you even lift, bro? Hey, guys, finally got to listen to the podcast live. I want to add paint corrections to my business. I got a Harbor Freight Hercules M used once for $60. Will I be able to learn with that machine? I think so. I don't know anything about the Harbor Freight Hercules.
Yeah.
But
is it like the Bauer?
Yeah, it feels like a Bauer, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, you could just practice with it, play with it, pick up some pads, and you could use any of the pads here that we carry. And then a good product to start with is just Last Cut. Pick up some Last Cut and then get a variation of pads, whether it's either Buff and Shine Reflection Artist Kit is a good way to start because it kind of teaches you the different densities of foam and thickness and stuff. So, and cutting power, and you can just play with that on that paint with the one product, and you can learn a lot.
And thanks for tuning in live, by the way.
Yeah.
Then
alkaline, would a Dixon purge be called a Dix out?
Oh dear,
you never know.
That's pretty good.
Oh, God.
That's pretty good.
Kevin, are we going to have a live Anthony Dixon auction? What size do you have? I need larges.
No, I can get like a couple larges.
Your large talls and extra larges.
Yeah.
When does a cloth become a towel? Just a brain fart.
It just depends on who's saying it.
Yeah. And then Eric King, love the Rag Company and PNS products. What is your cleaning process to remove smoke odors from vehicles? Clean and shampoo everything that you physically can that's fabric. Clean and scrub all the door panels, plastics, everywhere that there is smoke. And then for the headliner, use a rinseless and water, but you soak a towel and then wring that towel out and wipe the headliner as best as you can. Utilize a little compressed air to help blow out some of that. And then make sure you change the interior cabin filter. And also, if you need to, run an ozone machine or a biobomb.
Bam.
That's it. Then Joey, Boromir, Dane, let's go.
Yeah, dude.
I'd love that. And then Grant says, we're good friends with Sir Peter Jackson.
I bet you are.
Make that happen, Dane. And then Kevin, I just put the live on my TV while I eat dinner, and now I see why Anthony is so conscious about his position. If he was wearing a kilt, y'all would have to move the show to OnlyFans.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's pretty exposing in this angle.
Right?
I mean, like, and the thing is, I can't cross my legs like comfortably yet. You know what I mean? And be able to do this. So
we're like
Levi
5 seconds away from bringing the table back into the room.
We're about ready because of these shots.
I swear,
we look worse.
Like, why is this not like a members only, stream?
Yeah. I tried so hard to make this like one of those, like if you watch like comedy podcasts.
I think we need to put a table down here and then mount the cameras to the table.
It's always people sitting on chairs and all that kind of stuff. It's only like the ones that are like.
But I think those cameras are mounted to a table.
It's like these upskirt angles we have now, Dane. What's going on?
What's funny is the cameras are really high. They're not low at all.
But that's why they're making us.
They're looking down on you, but if they're level with you.
Demented Tomatoes says, new to the show, I like it.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
And by the way, make sure you click like and subscribe. It's going to be worth it, I promise. All right. Then we got clean and shiny Mr. John himself.
I use O&R in a spray bottle on road trips to get rid of bugs. Works perfectly. Used it recently on the ring trip.
Dude,
that's right. He went down to the Nürburgring.
Oh, I love it.
It's a bucket list thing for me, John. I'm so happy for you, dude. I want to do that so bad. Oh my gosh. I'm jealous.
Hans, Pluffle's being replaced for a Stroopwafel weave towel called the Dutchie.
Oh, that's a fun name for a towel, the Dutchie.
Super Auto, does that mean Adam's blue Pluffles are going away as well? No, they've got their version of the Pluffle. Yeah.
Their stuff's doing
their
still
own thing. Demented Tomatoes, I work in dirt and mud with a 2021 Ranger. What tools can I use to keep the interior, especially tricky spots, clean?
There you go.
Check out PNS off-road lineup, right?
Yeah, it's a good lineup.
A lot of chemicals designed for people who are working in dirt and mud. And their interior cockpit spray is really good.
Really
use
good.
that with like a Detail Factory brush, and you'll be golden.
Yeah, spray and wipe.
People love cockpit.
Hans, construction and improvements in my storefront are almost done. Next project is the workshop. Getting Sonic cabinets and Swiss Trax flooring and painted a few things.
Nice,
Congrats,
Hans.
Hans.
Excellent.
Proud of you, brother.
Woo! Killing it, man.
And then Harry Housewife, just want to say great to be back, guys. Really enjoyed listening to this once again. Much love. See you next week. Thank you, Darren.
Thanks,
Appreciate it,
Darren.
brother. And then Cameron Messina, with winter around the corner, what heaters do you guys recommend for the garage? Any other tricks to keeping the garage warm other than insulation?
I know your solution.
Cameron, a couple things you could do. You could get one of those buddy heaters if you want. They're very simple, very easy. Or get an electric one. Just an electric space heater. Works well. The key is making sure you have enough insulation on everything so that you're not losing all of it. Second, when I didn't have an insulated garage, I used to just get a couple of the small space heaters and put them around in various areas. Turn them all on and make sure you have a thermometer in there so you can see if you're getting any temperature, because you want to know what your base temperature is. If your garage is 40 degrees, it's going to be hard to try and climb that 40 to 60. But if it's always at 60 and you're really just trying to get to a comfortable 65, 66 degrees in the winter, that's not that hard to do with smaller furnaces or smaller space heaters. So that's really going to be the first key, is figuring out exactly, like Anthony, your garage stays right at about what, low 50s in the winter, right at 60 in the winter without anything.
Yeah, it's like at 50.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be at.
So
50.
then you got your propane mounted
I got
heater
that
on top.
Freaking whatever the heck. It's
Yeah.
like some it's heater on steroids. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
It's like
but
something
it'll-
from
but-
Eastern Europe
No,
that's going to light your
it's-
garage on
it's-
fire.
It's like, I think it's called like the Mr. Buddy. I think it's like the 540 or something. But it's like a table. It's like it's a propane top, but the thing pumps out a
Ton of
freaking
heat.
Like Mr. Heat.
Dude, I got that garage up to like 80 degrees.
Yeah.
and
Oh, isn't it
it's
called like Propane Buddy or something?
something? I
But
can't
yeah.
remember
Oh,
what
yeah.
it
So
was,
those are the ways
but
to do it. Easy.
nuts.
The biggest thing, as long as you're not running an open flame with a propane heater. So
Also,
like if
don't
you've
leave
got,
yourself in an enclosed space
Yeah,
with
that
fumes.
too.
Bad idea.
Yeah, crack your garage. But yeah, if your garage is insulated, then if you introduce a little bit of heat, it'll stay. I would do that. It
Yeah.
would stay warm.
Yeah, because
for
my garage
hours.
is insulated and I don't have a heater in my garage. It's my furnace that's mounted in my garage to heat the house, and that's all I need. It heats that room, and then I have a second story above the garage, so that traps and holds a lot of heat on top. So that's just the ambient temperature in my garage.
Yeah.
There we go. Then, of course, Hans pointing out.
Oh, by the way, Levi, you need to call Jody. He's in need for a paint buddy. He's painting his house. I don't know if I want to paint
I don't think he
Jody's
wants
house.
to.
He lives like 45 miles away from me. Like, I don't want to drive out to Jody's, but thank you, Hans. Appreciate it. And then Wasaga Beach Squeezer. So PNS will have a new something, and TRC will have a towel. What?
What?
What is this
Wow.
person?
They're just saying
No.
things.
Just
I don't
making
know
up things.
Where they're getting these
Obscenities,
ideas.
yes.
Wow.
Ricardo B says, "What's up, TRC crew? Question: do you know where I can buy smaller roll of PPF just to do headlights?"
No, the largest size you can get usually is about a 36-inch roll. If you're looking for chunks,
Amazon, they sell like
so Ricardo,
cut
here's what you're gonna
stuff.
do. Go to Fellers, FELLERS.com. Fellers will sell you cuts based on the yardage. So you could take a 36-inch roll and you could ask for 3 yards of PPF, which is 9 feet, or you could get 1 yard of 3 feet by 3 feet and get a square. And then you'd have to kind of slice and dice it up for yourself. But you could order that and they would ship it to you. And
There you
you
go.
could pick the PPF. So they even manufacture their own in-house PPF as well. That's really good quality. So,
Bam.
but that's where you go, fellers.com. Hans says, hit that like button. And then John Anthony, fly to Germany next year and I'll take them too and you take a round.
Dude, how can you say no to that? You love M2s and you love
but
the
we're
ring.
not going to Germany next year. We're going to Germany in 2 years.
Yeah, well,
Which
you know.
maybe that'll be my next time to be
Minor
there.
detail.
That is, unless I choose to go to Germany on my own.
Yeah.
My own devices. Maybe I go to Oktoberfest next year. Maybe Dane loves it so much this year. that He's like, Anthony, please.
Life-changing. Dane comes back and he just wears
Well,
one of those Bavarian hats
the
all
lads,
time.
the lads do
Yeah.
Oktoberfest. It needs
Yeah.
to happen.
That's its own thing. We need to get a
be
crowdsourcing
fun.
for
Yeah,
that.
we need to make
One
one
drag
that's so
company will
fun
pay
that
for that.
trip for us.
Yeah.
All right, we're on the last few, guys. You can handle it.
Joey, thanks for the great show, fam. Have a great weekend. Thanks, Joey.
man.
Thank you, Joey.
Ricardo B, thanks, guys. Have a great long holiday weekend.
Thanks,
Thank you.
dude.
I was planning on going camping, but I'm not so sure now.
Uh-oh.
Tamara Chase, take care,
That's
everybody.
smoke.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Tamara.
Yeah, the smoke, and it's supposed to be like 100 degrees.
Yeah.
Tomato Tomatoes with a thank you. Thank
Thanks.
you, man. Appreciate you tuning in.
Ooh, okay.
Is that it, Dane?
Well, I'm probably not going to post that last one because I don't know if that's true or not. So
All right.
anyway, thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate the show. Really appreciate you guys tuning in and providing us with the materials to create a show with your questions and our answers. And
Thanks.
all the fun we had along the way. So as a final message to you, if you haven't already, please click like on this video. It really helps us out, once again, with the algorithm. And another thing you can do, other than subscribing, which you should already be to this channel, could you please leave a comment? We'd really like it if you left a comment saying something about the topics today or something you have a question about or a topic for a future show. We'd really appreciate that. And of course, you can look forward to more TRC main show interviews with several special guests in the coming weeks and months ahead, including Spencer Mason, who very clearly wanted his episode to come out today, but it'll be in the future.
There you
Guys,
go.
take care. We'll see you on the next one. Adios.
See ya.